You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
Showcase Showdown!
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waves. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waves.
Hello and welcome to the 458th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined by a flock of my favorite Fallout folks. Tonight we've got Will. What's up, Will?
Hi, Andrew, everyone. Good to be here.
Also, Ray. What's going on, Ray?
Yeah, hello.
And Jess. What is happening, Jess?
Hey, Andrew. Great, everybody. I am glad you're back.
No, I was just about to say, you guys did a kick-ass job, and I should just stop coming on the show altogether because you guys run an awesome, tight, really efficient show that, like, you know, when you have a practice session the first time through, you can really nail it the second time through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I left a little giveaway at the beginning that we didn't record the first 20 minutes, but, you know, I thought it came out better the second time. Maybe.
And you said you had done that before, right? Well,
Yeah.
Let's
great?
make this a thing now, shall we?
I was telling you pre-show that if we did a rehearsal every show, like we ran through the show and then did it again so we knew what we were talking about,
Yeah.
we'd be more efficient, and it'd also be like 5 hours.
Well, we could trim our 3-hour shows down to a 2-hour show if we spent
3-hour
2
rehearsal,
hours
2-hour show.
if we spent 5 hours turning a 3-hour show into a 2-hour show. How about that?
Ray and I are we're just efficient like that. Plus, we had such great feedback. Plenty to say.
Yeah, no, it really helped move my day along today. Really, really fun to listen. I always like that.
Did you like the Pitt song?
Yes, guys, and Ray dropping in a lead drop with his beautiful voice was quite enjoyable. And what else? You had some other drops you were doing live, Ray. I made some timestamps, so don't be surprised if in the future you hear Ray's renditions of these drops come up at some point.
Oh, it was the feedback song.
Oh yeah, something.
Yeah.
We have feedback.
Super accurate.
It was perfect, you guys. Anyway, if you didn't listen to last week's show, please go back and give her a listen. Had lots of great feedback from the community as we are playing Fallout 3. We are doing the DLCs for our current Roundtable project. If you'd like to participate, hit us up. The falloutfeed@gmail.com. Send us your 5-minute file to the falloutfeed@gmail.com. All right, so enjoyable batch last week. Tonight on the show, we've got some gameplay right off the top. Then we'll be discussing the next round of quests for the Roundtable. We are in the Pit right now. Then we'll have a little bit of game time. Andrew Helter Shelter. I'll have to see if I can pull that up. That was put on the schedule without my knowledge, so we'll see if I can find that. But we'll prioritize Will's game because he has a special game planned. It's a continuation of.
It's not about Fallout Shelter.
It's not about Shelter. Well, that's that's what Ray prefers, anything like that. And I really don't appreciate you guys bashing Shelter in my absence when I can't be there to defend it. Your sideward glances, your snide comments, they do not go unnoticed. Okay?
Put on your Endurance 7 outfit and deal with it.
You were like, oh man, and he still hasn't found his Endurance 7 outfit, whatever that means. Like, you know very well what Endurance 7 means, Jess. Don't even pretend.
Look, I've only got maybe a few hundred hours in Shelter, okay? Nothing compared to you.
I've only got significantly more hours in a game than most people spend in their most favorite games. All right. So, yeah, a little bit of Iguana Bits. on our way out the door, it looks like. Hopefully, go on to bits are TV show related, getting more and closer to the deadline of that drop. And also, I don't know, I heard you guys talking about it last week. The Fallout 4, what's the new version called?
We're calling it Next Gen Update.
Next Gen
Yeah.
Update. But you guys are saying no, that's not going to sync. They're not going to surprise drop it.
Yeah, the Nothing Burger update.
The Nothing Burger update. That's not going to.
But I just don't think they're going to shadow drop it at the same time as the show.
Yeah, it'll take the attention away from the show. And Ray, you were saying, and there will be such a lackluster response to it, and I didn't gather what you meant by that. Why do you gather that there will be a lackluster response to the new gen update of Fallout 4?
Because it does absolutely nothing for the PC modded game.
But isn't that only like
We already look better. We already run better. We already, have better things. So
yeah, but isn't that only like 8 to 12% of gamers or something?
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean,
it's the percent I care about.
I mean, they are the master race. They're at the top of the pyramid, even if there's only a few of them.
That top 10%, not the.
Yeah, I mean, we don't.
The worthless bottom drivel.
I mean, we're 1% and want to keep it that way.
To be fair, there are probably as many or more PC gamers at this point than there are console gamers. There's a lot of talk in the gaming industry about how the console market isn't really growing. The mobile market's growing, PC market, more people are adopting PC as it becomes a little bit easier to use. And, with PlayStation games and Xbox games coming to PC more, so I especially with Bethesda and mods, I bet the bulk of players are on PC. I don't know if, I feel like there have been a few demographic studies, but I don't know.
It's also the group of people that can keep playing and having fun because we've got new stuff to play with.
We have new stuff to play with.
Not yet.
And that's one of the reasons I'm sort of a convert now to PC also. So I've decided to live this life.
They still will. Yeah. No, I mean, we'll get mods eventually. You just wait, okay?
Whatever. It's not like Will has ever been loyal to anything. Like he says he was a PS4 guy, and then he gets an Xbox One, and now he has a PC. He is so just with the wind, whichever direction it shall blow, there goes Will.
I support that kind of diversity, Will. Good job.
Wherever the best experience leads him, that's where he goes.
Yeah, I like gaming. Yeah, that's it.
I can't blame the guy.
Show some backbone, buddy. Pick something, would you? Atari for life.
Yeah, I was about to say Switch, but that's the one system I don't own, so...
Well, I can't say that I recommend playing Fallout 4 on the Switch.
You'd love to. You'd like to be able to say that, right?
Because I've only been asking for it for like a decade now.
Hey, random shout out.
Not yet.
Random shout out to a friend before we get to the shouts. My friend Mr. Chivalry, a Twitter and Discord friend, just won an OLED Switch tonight at a bar.
Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah.
Jess is scrolling Twitter while we're...
No, it was right before the show. But it blew my mind because he did it on one of those like claw machines. It's a cut to win. You have to lower the claw, cut a thing, and get a prize.
Oh, really?
For real.
And okay,
Amazing.
Did it pull up like a card that said you won a Switch, or did it actually have to pick up a Switch?
So I didn't see it in action, of course. I just saw him after going, woo! But
that'd be hilarious if you had to pick up a Switch. You dropped it a couple times, but you got it that third time, and you're like, oh, wait, I dropped it too many times. It's fucking broken.
It's no perfectly preserved pie, but it'll do.
Oh, yeah. They should put a piece of pie in there. Oh, that's great. I'm looking for a piece of pie reference there in that first episode. Oh, we're going to write them down, right? We're playing, we got to play bingo. We got to play Fallout TV bingo, where we have a card with all the Fallout references from the games, right? And then
actually, Andrew?
What?
Yeah, that's the thing I was working on this week.
No
I actually
fucking
have
way. Let's
almost
do it.
done with it. I have
No way.
what I was doing, and I've asked a couple people about their Fallout cliches. I actually put together a whole bingo card. I was gonna try to get it done today, but to post today. But work was really busy, and last night I was in Fallout 3 playing, so I didn't actually finish it. But yeah, what's great, I did more than 30 possible answers, so people could even do multiple bingo cards if they wanted. But I'm making one.
That's incredible. I want to play. I'm in.
Okay, we'll do this. We'll send them out to friends.
Totally. We should make it a prize. We'll put together a little Fallout feed prize package or something. Or we'll talk about it on the side. We'll figure something out. That'll be fun. All right, you guys. Let's go ahead and roll into our show for tonight. Let's talk about some gameplay. Ray, how's your No Man's Sky update?
Awesome.
Did you play more of it?
Oh, of course.
How much can you play it before it gets old?
I don't know. Let me check my my Steam.
Were you still playing last update until this one dropped?
Yeah. I think am I over 2,000 hours now? I think I might be over 2,000 hours. So,
what's your Starfield count?
I can't tell because I won't do the update. And if you haven't updated your game, the hey update your game, hey banner covers up the hours played.
Right. And you can't like right click it away or anything. That's silly.
Yeah. But the last time it showed, which was, when did that update drop? A couple of weeks ago, I think. It was the hot fix. I was at a little over 960. So at this point, I'm probably pretty close to 1,000 hours.
Yeah, well over probably. Well, that's great. And you've compacted that amount of hours into a much shorter time than you've been exposed to No Man's Sky as well. You've crammed a bunch of
for years.
Starfield in.
I think when I really started playing No Man's Sky again, I was at about 650 hours in the game. And so that was, the first 3 or 4 years of the game.
Yeah.
And then these last few have been where I've really poured it on. But I started a character that so my typical gameplay involves, rushing from the very beginning of the game off to find myself a Sentinel ship, which are really the best ships you can get in the game. And so this time I started a character that, didn't get the Radiant Pillar, which is the starter ship. I had to go, gather resources to buy myself another ship. And then I will never get this one a Sentinel ship. You'll have to do with just the conventional ships. So that'll give me a chance to play around with the new shipbuilding options, and some of the new trading options. So that's been fun. And
nice.
If I would get off my lazy butt and put the show together, I could actually publish another episode.
I was looking for it today a little bit. I was like, I wonder if he's going to drop an episode today.
I should have had it out today, but I had some stuff come up, which is what always happens whenever I procrastinate to the max. So,
gosh, if I just push everything off forever, stuff for some reason it just doesn't get done. I don't know what the hell is happening.
It's so weird.
You playing anything else? What are you doing?
Also been playing Skyrim. We did record an episode of that this week.
Oh yeah, I saw you guys chatting about that. How'd that go?
Really well. And I was playing with a new mod that had just come out the week before, and it was real fun. A new smithing mod. So talk a lot about that on the show. The Starfield challenge run that I've been doing, you can't buy anything from vendors, and so all of the supplies I from either creatures or that's been interesting because it's not easy to find some of the resources you're looking for when you can't just run to the store and buy them. So that's been a lot of fun.
Where are you getting these challenges from? Is this a self-assigned, this
is one I picked up
challenges?
from a Skyrim YouTuber that I've followed for years, Major Slack. So I've been playing along with that.
That's fun. Good deal. Anything else you're getting into?
A little Fallout 3, but we'll save that for later.
Absolutely. We'll cover that when we talk about our quests here in just a little bit. So why don't we skedaddle over to Jess and see what she's been getting into. Again, good job last week, Jess. Thought you guys did an awesome job. What'd you get into this week?
So I reinstalled. No, I'm kidding. I listened to the show. I was tempted, but you'll be happy to know I am 100% clean of Balatro all week. What I did instead, well, I played a lot of 76, which is exciting, right?
Yeah,
I had to check out. Yeah, I had to check out more of the new update, how to get in there, and I didn't just build. I did a little bit, but I figured I needed to get on that rank grind, on that score grind, like you've been doing.
You're up to like 15, 16 camps now, too, I hear?
I have 10 regular, 10 customs.
That's
reality.
amazing.
I've only started 2.
I was joking. You literally have 20 goddamn camps. That is incredible.
I have 20 camp slots. I literally have 12 camps currently because I've only started 2 new since buying them.
God, only 2, you guys. I have had the same 2 camps for about 4 years now, I think.
It's fun to decorate them, and I don't know. It's so freeing to have the additional slots now to know that, okay, I feel like part of my building paralysis the last year, besides spending more time in Starfield and other games, has been the fact that I've torn down so many camps over the years that it started to feel like I'm just building to tear down. So what's the point? I had this Fallout 76 on Wii, and getting more camp slots totally fixed it.
Well, that's great. Can you just get them in the Atomic Shop, or what was the deal with that?
For just 1,000 atoms, you can be the proud new owner of a camp slot. 1,000 atoms each.
1,000 atoms each. You got you spent 10,000 atoms on camp slots?
5,000 atoms because 5 of them are on custom. So by buying 5 new on regular, then I got 5 new on custom. Yeah.
I see
that makes sense.
Works. I see how that works. And how many can you have all total?
That's the max.
You can only have 5 max in
No, you can have 10
mode
now. Mm-hmm.
10.
So everybody's going to have
10
2
adventure mode.
Yep, everybody will have 2 with the current system, so they can have a main camp and a swap camp. Then you can buy the first 3 in the past, and now they're added 5 more you can buy. So you can buy a total of 8 plus 2, so 10. It's
wow.
Yeah, I mean it's exciting, a whole new world. But so 76. I started working on the scoreboard, like I was saying, after I tore myself away from just playing with stuff, looking at the new items. We got so many new items and stamps galore. So I hadn't been to spend stamps at Giuseppe in a while. When we did the first Atlantic City live stream, like at the time, I think I bought the new aquarium pillar, 1 or 2 things. But when I went in, after doing a couple Atlantic City runs and checked my stamps, I was over 200.
Nice.
And the new stamp prices, they went down quite a bit. So there's a lot of stuff in the 30, 40, 50 range. Obviously, I don't need the Union Dudes power armor, or the civil workers, the not so civil Atlantic City workers power armor. That's the new thing, by the way. It's like some kind of civilian power armor is what they're calling it. But yeah, I didn't need that stuff. But there's some good stuff. There's some great outfits there. There's a new jacket combo, kind of very greaser, very fawns, very tunnel snakes, where you get like a cool pants and a nice leather jacket. You're like, hey, so it's called the Enforcer outfit. So picked that up. A bunch of us were wearing it last Saturday when we played for pictures and stuff like that. So yeah, also, I'm backstream with the Gato. So on Saturday, we just did Atlantic City and events and stuff in 76. But on my own, I checked out Atlantic City, some of the new locations, the Rose Room. I talked about the fact that you started with the Russo family last week. I didn't get into the full quest breakdown, and I won't because I don't want to spoil it for people until we actually go there. But it's a cool quest line. The quest line to get you to Atlantic City is really well done. The acting is good. The character animations, I like some of the characters. The actual Atlantic City area you can go through now. So we talked about how it's open zones as exploration, but you couldn't build camps there. Well, it is still instanced. And really what they ended up doing was essentially taking all the locations for the expeditions they built and interlinking them. Okay? So you can go to the flooded city center. You can go to the boardwalk, but it's essentially the same area as you would see in the expedition. Just instead of enemies, now there's NPCs because it's not during the expedition. And they added a few little things. There might be some extra interiors. Obviously, the whole new section for the third expedition, that's new. But it is not what we would want for a new open area. But just being able to explore without being shot at, that's a lot of fun. It is still some of the best designed stuff they've done as far as like just the look of it. Just the overall look of Atlantic City is really cool. I mean, everything's too big, but like the swanky interiors are nice. The way the fog and water and stuff works outside is really nice. It has a good vibe to it. But they've been doing that with every update. You know what I mean? Like every story update, you get a new area. Like you look at how much more detailed Crater and Foundation were than what we originally had in 76. And then other interiors have become more and more detailed. And Atlantic City is definitely up to snuff there. It's funny. One of my favorite interiors, I think, is actually with the Big Bend Tunnel. Big Bend Tunnel East, Big Bend Tunnel West. You know what I'm talking about, Will, how there's just the lighting in there is very photogenic. So it's nice to see. It's just nice to see. Oh, I mean, even when they first added Mama Murgle, I know that's way back, but I guess what I'm saying is while the initial game looked nice and the map is one of the best I've ever made, I do feel like every time they add new areas, it's just more detailed. They tweak the lighting. They play with textures and filters and all that. The new camp items. So you know how we got the weather stations a few months ago, right? We can do the Pitt fog or the Atlantic City fog weather station. And what's the other one we had?
There's thunderstorms now and snow as well.
Right. So it was snow and it was clear. So it was snow, clear, and fog before. And they were all very cool effects. But the thunderstorm now is ridiculous. So you've seen it, Andrew?
I purchased it, but have not built it yet.
It's really neat. Will, you would like the machine. So the machine you build in your camp is a big stand-up machine with a bunch of coils and lightning and electricity arcing between them. It's very nice. Frankenstein.
Whoa,
okay.
Like Tesla coils. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. That's
yeah, it looks cool. And the way that it works is when you're within the camp perimeter, for those who don't play 76, these effects happen only when you're within a camp perimeter. So it's kind of, look, 76 jumped the shark on suspension of disbelief about 3 months into the game. I mean, really the first day with some of the bugs we had to deal with. So, when people talk about, man, 76, it just ruins lore. No, the actual story of 76 is fine with lore. We've talked through a bunch of those aspects again and again, the quests and the story. But the things players do and the funny things they add for camps and in the Atomic Shop, yeah, entirely ridiculous. But I love it. It's fun. It's a different sort of game. So we enjoy that. But scoreboard, I'm rank 16 now, maybe 18.
Nice.
I'm not as high as I could be, and it's been a week and a half. Some people are certainly higher if they're in their grinding levels and with the new system. So first of all, like we talked about, the sky didn't fall. We knew it wouldn't, but it didn't. It's fine. It's totally fine. Things are still progressive. The rewards are pretty similar. But like by the time you hit level 100, you can pretty much buy everything on the board if you want to. So I'm doing pretty good there. People have made it a lot further, but just getting the weeklies, I re-rolled a couple. It's funny. It's fun when you get the epics. So, we talk about how the new rewards the new challenges are pretty decent. Re-rolling them, you get to see more than pop up. So, for instance, I didn't re-roll the Deathclaw one. I think I re-rolled, of all things, the Cultist, because I didn't want to do a bunch of Mothman Equinoxes this week, because I was playing solo on a private server. So I went and re-rolled them, and I got an epic, like, kill 25 creatures while mutated. And we're all mutated,
Yeah.
right? So that's a nice, easy one. I'm like, that's an epic. Awesome. But yeah, so
mutated.
got into the grind, got into the story. 76 is good.
Nice.
Fallout 3 we'll talk about when we get to it for the quest. Just played a little bit of that because I was in the pit. So I wrapped that up and I didn't go a whole lot further. The other game I played, well, because I uninstalled Balatro, same day I installed Diablo 4 because, as I mentioned, it came out on Game Pass. So I'm already level 27 in Diablo 4. I played a lot of it for at least 3 nights the last week. So that's probably been the game I played even more than any Fallout. I will say it's a lot of fun. Even though it's an always online version of Diablo, it's still, you can play it completely solo. It's nice when you run into people and you run around together. That can be really fun, but it's really good solo. Dungeons are great. The balancing, initially there were some issues with balancing, not when it first came out, but after first season, they fixed it now. It's still a ton of fun to play. I'm playing a barbarian like I do. And story's great. I'm right near the end of Act 1. It's divided into acts, just like Baldur's Gate.
Oh, is
So,
it?
yes. Yeah. I think there's actually 5 or 6 acts. So there's a few more acts to go through. But yeah, I'm right near the end of Act 1, but I'm not focusing on the story. And while I think top level is 50, there's Paragon levels and a bunch of stuff after that. So technically I'm halfway through the level grind, even though I'm only like a tenth of the way through the story. But yeah, Diablo, wicked fun. I don't remember, have any of you played it?
I have not.
What's Diablo like?
So Diablo is an action RPG kind of clicker. Originally came out on PC, Diablo 1 and 2. They were some of the first of that kind of like isometric action game like that, okay, where you're running around, hitting all the things, got kinds of loot, like Borderlands, but isometric. Really, Diablo's loot system was kind of the inspiration for like Destiny's looter shooter thing and Borderlands style and all that, because it was that in an ARPG style, isometric. If people haven't tried it, like Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is similar. There was an EverQuest version that came out that was similar. There have been a bunch of games like it, but Diablo was kind of the original of that style that was super popular. It finally came to consoles when Diablo 3 came out back, what was it now, like 8 years ago, 7 years ago? Yeah, probably 7 or 8. And Diablo 3, it was funny because it was a little bit controversial at first. They instituted, God, it was probably a decade, so old. They instituted an auction house, which caused all kinds of trouble. But then they brought it to console. They added a necromancer class. They did a lot of fun stuff with it. So anyway, Diablo 3 was great a decade ago. And that's what it is.
What do you mean by auction house?
So, okay. So you played a few MMOs in your time, Will.
Yes.
But they essentially, when players got items, they could then put them on a board to sell to other players.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. So they put that in game.
Yes, an in-game auction house. But the thing is that the trading market became huge, kind of like 76 was before they started controlling it. And so people paying a lot of real cash for items became very pay to win. People could be out there grinding stuff and then selling it, and it really messed up the balance of the game for people. It was odd. So they fixed that. Anyway, it's a fun series. By the way, any big Diablo fans, I'm sorry if I bastardized it a little bit. But the general idea is it's just your classic looter RPG fighter. And you level up, you kill things in all kinds of ways. It's colorful, it's bright, it's flashy. And you watch the numbers go up.
What's that have to do with the devil?
So yeah, it's a very heaven and hell themed game. People live on Earth in between, and the idea is there's an eternal struggle between the angels and the devil's Diablo. And I believe Diablo was the main boss in the first 2. And of course, he shows up in the others as well. But it's got a major Christian arcana overtone, like Dante's Inferno kind of, just a lot of those trappings. the church is like a huge force, but it's a very dark game series. Yeah, very dark. But in a colorful way. Hard to explain. But the tone of 3 was almost too cartoonish. But now they're back to very gates of hell, everybody dying, blah 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 kind of thing.
Way should.
The way it should be. Yes, exactly.
Very nice. Anything else you want to mention on your gameplay there, Jess?
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Cool. Hey, Will, did you ever play that? Did you ever play Diablo?
I haven't played any of them, no. So, I thought about Diablo 4, but I was, too into other games still at the time. Sometimes it's hard to make room. Like I haven't even got to Starfield yet, so
yeah,
Gets
everyone's
difficult.
got a huge stack. Jess, is it valuable? And if you want to play Diablo 4, maybe I'll go pick up the Diablo pack and play 1 through 3 first or something.
No, it's not.
No? Okay.
There is a remastered Diablo out there. Diablo 2 Resurrected is free on Xbox. Or Lee mentioned it's free on Xbox. At least Diablo 2 Resurrected is on Xbox. Diablo 2 is what a lot of people think is the best. I recommend. I recommend starting with the newer ones. 3 is an almost perfect game. 4 is a ton of fun.
That's a fun game list to put out, your 5 perfect games.
Oh, it would be. That's a hard one, though, right?
Yeah. They're not necessarily my favorite games either.
No, it's like a perfect album. Like Peter Gabriel's So. Not my favorite album, but it's like almost perfect, right?
Yeah. That is a darn good record.
Tears for Fears. Good record.
All right. Will, so let's chat about your gameplay, sir. What have you been getting into?
Yeah, sure. It'll be fairly brief this week, not too much. I sort of realized exactly how much fun I'm having with this Fallout 3 season roundtable, because much like you were talking about a couple of weeks ago when you were on, you wanted to play some Fallout 3, but you didn't want to play so far ahead that you would forget everything. You'd be fresh on the show, but
And
we were stuck in the pit, so we couldn't go do other things.
The damn pit, yeah.
Yeah, so that was what I was going, and I was like, I was really wanting to play some Fallout 3, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna hold off. But so what that did mean though is I found some time to finally finish Baldur's Gate 3.
You promised that months ago, right?
I know, but I got sidetracked with a lot of that. I bought that Meta Quest, so I was, experimenting with a lot of VR games, doing different things and stuff with the VR, and we have this, Fallout 3 going on.
And you didn't know Baldur's Gate was going to take you 700 hours.
Right. That's what I was going to say. I came in at finally, the end time was 705 hours. So paltry 705. So I was looking it up on
That's awesome.
the howlongtobeat.com, and the average time even for completionists is like, I forgot, it's like 168 or something like that. But then, if you really break down
hours.
into the mechanics of it, it tells you like by platform what is the absolute longest time out of everyone they polled, how long they spent, and what's the fastest, and the longest it took anyone else out of like 2,000 people that they did was 568 hours, I think. So I beat that like 100 by like 140 hours.
How long to beat needs a new category. Needs to be what is it like quick, mostly. I don't know the categories, like most of the game and side quests, completionist, photographers.
Oh right. They do
Category 4.
and because that's the thing, is because I have the photography mods added to Baldur's Gate 3. Of course, unfortunately there wasn't one in there. They've been saying it's coming forever, but I shouldn't say they've been saying that. They said it a long time ago, and everyone keeps reiterating it. But,
Oh yes, but people always say, 76 supposed to have mods. Starfield hasn't had any updates. Baldur's Gate have all the big ones. Well, guess who got a photo mode update in Starfield, and yet Baldur's Gate didn't. Sorry.
Yeah, it didn't. But so I got to do that, and I didn't have too much left to finish. Like I said, I was close. All I had to do, I talked the last time I was on, I had this one quest to finish up Asterian's quest, and we went with him, and I accidentally got him killed, and that it was absolutely my fault. There was just a thing that I didn't know I was supposed to do. I thought I did something, but then I was supposed to do something else, and then he ended up dying, and I let it go. I said goodbye to Asterian. Remember, I told you I was debating whether or not I might reload and go back to save him, but I stuck with the consequences of it. And then after that, I just had the final battle to go into Baldur's Gate 3, sort of into the city. And if you played some, I don't know how much you notice, but like you notice a lot of times you're talking and you talk to people and they're like, "Oh, I will join you later on." Like one of the things is almost like you're gathering allies for the big sort of showdown at the end. And as we've talked, I seem to have a lot of people that died, unfortunately. So I wasn't expecting too many to help me, but then when I got there at the end, like you go in this little room and there's all these people, like they're all sort of there. It's like, "Hey, I'm here. Let's go. Let's do this." And there was sort of a lot more ready to help me than I was expecting. So I didn't get nearly as many people killed as I thought I did. Just mostly party members, I guess.
That's awesome.
And but then unfortunately, or I shouldn't say unfortunately, but one of the things I always do, I don't know if y'all have this problem when you play games, that you get like a really good weapon or item or something, but you only get 3 of them or something, and you're always scared to use it too soon because you don't want to waste it, and then you really need it later on. And that was sort of the things with all these people that were coming to my help for the big battle, is you can sort of call them like when you need them. They were in this room, but then you go on, you leave them, and you can sort of call them. I hope this isn't spoilery, is it? Just saying this. I hope not. But
Who cares?
I sort of, too late now. I'm sorry, I already said it. But
Spoiler
so
alert,
I basically went through almost all of the stuff that you're going to go through, and I was like, and there were times I thought about trying to call some of them for help, and I was like, well, I don't want to get it too early. I don't know if they're going to leave because I don't know the whole mechanics of how it worked. So I basically got to the very, very end and was about to like win the game when I started trying to recruit some of them, and then I didn't even have enough time to get them all there before I just finally finished the game. And it was very satisfying though, so glad I
was going to ask.
Behind me.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you've already started a new character. You had a second, and you have a plan for a third already.
Yes,
right?
yeah. I'm debating kind of a couple of different ones that I'm going to play through next. But I am, I have a multiplayer campaign I'm in with Jen and them, and of course I'm going to do another playthrough because I have these ideas, and there's just so much extra to uncover,
but
even after 705 hours.
Yeah, it's a different feeling once you finish, though. It's like in Starfield. Once I finished, now I can pop in and do whatever, and I've got ideas for second playthrough, but it's not pressing.
Right.
Whereas until you finish that first, it's all you can think about. At least,
Yeah,
it'll
be much slower when I'm in the mood for it, and stuff like that. So now that sort of leaves a hole. I was. Yay, finally, I can get to Starfield. Right, I'm gonna do it. And Jerry keeps talking about Dragon's Dogma 2.
He's such a bad influence. Do you know who made me buy Balatro? I mean, actually, it was 2 friends. It was Jerry and another guy. But yeah, just such an influence. He's always doing that. Like, because he picks up new games when they come out, and he's in Discord or in chat being like, "Oh, have you seen this? Oh, have you have you checked out this game?" And I'm like, "Oh, but I should." So what did he do to you?
So he really put the doubt in me. I really thought, because I had already almost thought about it anyways. I'd mentioned in the Discord that I almost picked it up to buy it. I'd done the character creator, so I made a character, but that was a free part they gave away before the game's release, and that you could import your character into the game. And I came so close to buying it up on the weekend, the full game, after I finished Baldur's Gate 3, and but I finally decided I'm gonna play Starfield. And then of course that's when Jerry's like, "Oh, you should really do it." And then I started thinking again, but I didn't do it, and I think I will probably be starting Starfield very soon.
See, I'm glad, but as I told you in Discord, I might be a bit of an opposite influence too. As much as I want you to try Starfield, I also want you and everybody to really enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, to get the experience I had, and I know you will, or I'm pretty sure you will. But friends like Shalene, she's like, "I'm just not into it not that into it, Jess. I'm like, oh no. And other people whose opinion I value. And I think the longer you wait, the more it'll be like the best time to play Starfield. And I think the big thing that we want are those maps. I mean, like Ray said, those of us who play a lot, we don't care anymore. We know stuff inside and out. I mean, some people still get lost, but most people play don't. But like when the maps come out and maybe the mods and stuff, like that will make a big difference. So if people
Will can
wait for
play
that,
on PC, so he doesn't have to wait for mods.
a very good point.
You can go right in with Starfield already fixed.
Do you guys think that Starfield will have the staying power that both Fallout and Elder Scrolls seem to have? Will there be a Starfield 6 like 30 years from now?
Not that, don't you think, Ray? I don't know that there will be a sequel.
Yeah, because I mean, what would you really do? Because New Game Plus kind of takes that away, and then what are you going to go to? Some other universe.
But I mean, in a decade or so, like maybe they could do a larger portion of the settled systems could have expanded much larger, or another area nearby, new planets, new space. I mean, stuff could happen, but will it have the staying power? I would have told you last fall, couple of months in, it's going to be at least as big as Fallout and Skyrim ultimately. That it has potential to be Bethesda's best game. I still think it has that potential, but given some of the sentiment about it, I don't know if it will ever reach Skyrim heights. Yeah, it probably won't. Realistically, it probably won't. But I think it could have the staying power of Skyrim and Fallout 4 at least. Just on a slightly smaller scale.
Well, in a couple of years, the next generation of gamers will come along and it'll be like, this is the most amazing game ever.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll be like, oh, all the work Bethesda did fixed the game. And sure, it improved it, but the game's already great. And that's why I'm torn. That's why I want to tell people, yeah, play Starfield now. And then I'm like, but there have been enough people who have reacted negatively that maybe there is something to it, even if I don't understand. So wait a little bit. Game of the Year edition. There'll be a Game of the Year edition if it didn't win Game of the Year anywhere, except in my heart.
Yeah, well, and a lot of it will have to do with, how the DLC ends up.
Yeah, exactly. When it's coming, because they plan on, several years of content for Starfield. And it's a good thing since we're not going to get the first DLC till it's been out a year, probably, probably August or so by the time we get it. July or August, I would think. There's no date yet on that. But I imagine we have to get it at least by 1 year.
I just want the damn Creation Club to come out.
Yeah, well, hopefully next update or two, right? It'll either be like beginning of May or, because it's every 6 weeks or so. Early May or late June, most likely, I would think. Got to be the next two updates.
Yeah, Creation Kit 2 is desperately needed. I mean, the modders are doing amazing things with, just Xedit, which is about the only tool that they have to use right now. But when they get access to the Creation Kit, it'll be huge.
Right. People are so positive on it. Word on the grapevine. It is being tested, and people are so positive about what's going to happen with it. So, fingers crossed. But anyway, Will, sorry, your gameplay. You might start Starfield, and don't let us make you not.
I probably will because I kind of I think I decided that maybe I don't want to talk down on Dragon's Dogma 2 any because obviously I'm very excited. And a lot of people say it's like Game of the Year potential and all that stuff, but it does. I guess it has some issue. They talk. They've had frame rate drops and things like that. And I've heard some people say it could be best just let them get a couple of patches out the way a lot of games are these days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I was like, well, maybe that's the best thing to do anyways. Let it sort of them fix it up a little bit, pretty it up, and meanwhile I'll be playing some Starfield. So
perfect. Dragon's Dogma. From what I'm hearing, the performance on it runs worse than than a lot of recent AAA games as far as stuttering and issues.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, some people depends who you talk to, but I guess like definitely some people say like they have like like really really like powerful graphics cards and stuff that it's still takes these big drops and stuff all the
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Just
Andrew,
in the towns, like it's because of the way they did it.
What?
Lee says that Shattered Space Starfield DLC will drop second quarter 2027.
Nah, 2029.
No, yeah, oh, God. You guys, it's a conspiracy.
Lee underestimates.
Andrew's like, it can always be worse. Haha.
No, I actually want to get into Starfield more again. Well, you've been playing any VR stuff recently?
Not this last couple of weeks. I have been doing a lot, like exploring a bunch of games and all that, stuff. But this last couple of weeks, I don't know, it's sort of a slower week. I hadn't done too much. It was basically all I did was finish Baldur's Gate 3 and our Fallout 3 quest here. I did do some exploring though. I learned you had asked me before if you can play like Fallout and stuff in VR, and I was like, well, they have the Fallout 4 version, but all the other ones you can't. I have learned, I've been looking into this, that there are mods that make most of these open world games or these 3D environment games that we all play into VR, like 3D stereo or whatever you call it, 360 stereo VR thing. And so I've been looking into making like Fallout New Vegas in VR, like adding that mod and stuff. So I don't know. I was talking about I was trying to get that Skyrim VR perfectly set up with the mods.
Yeah.
But then now, like, I feel like, man, I discovered all these other VR mods that's sort of opening everything up, and I don't know. But so I hadn't really played any this last couple of weeks.
So what dictates whether you can play the? You said mods can help you do it, or the company has to have produced a specific VR version.
Right. Yeah, like Bethesda.
You can't just pop in Mario and play it in
VR. No, well, I don't know. Bethesda ported over, Skyrim and Fallout 4. They did it, and however they did, people like them or don't, but other people have made it. There are all sorts of extra mods you can add on that to make it just a better experience. But with say like Fallout Vegas, that isn't VR ported, there's just those are 3D worlds that they built, because it's a full world. Like if you turn it around and things, it's presented in a flat mode. So modders they've gone in and they make mods specific games that just open up the whole 3D world so you can get into it. And then of course there are other mods, like this one called, I don't know if it's called VorpX or VORPX, something like that. That one works, I guess, on just a whole bunch of different games. You inject it and a couple of little things you have to do, but it will just turn it into a full VR game. But I think there's a little bit of work with that, but still.
No, that sounds cool. I sent you a couple weeks ago. I sent you a link. That wrestling game in VR looks fucking intense. That'd be cool when I was 8 years old or something. Looks really fun. But do you ever play sports games? You don't play sports games very much?
Not too much anymore. Way back, I was sort of a Madden addict.
Yeah.
I was playing, Madden just every single day. I would do the franchises and build the stadiums and like get my team to the Super Bowl, then jack up all the prices.
Nerd out on that shit all year. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah. But I sort of haven't played those too much lately.
Does the game effectively have to be a first-person game in order for VR to work? Because otherwise, looking over someone's shoulder would be like you're watching someone else play the game or something, right? So it has to be first-person mode only?
No, it doesn't have to be. People prefer it that way. Like with I was playing something in VR, but you can do it in first person, but no, I was playing Skyrim in third person where I could see my character. I think I was. Gosh, I can't even remember now. But what they do, some modders, is if it's a third person, they have a camera mod that moves the camera up forward to where that person would be standing, so that you can't, you no longer see them. It's just the camera is altered.
Wait, so how's that different from first person mode?
Well, that would turn it into a first person. That if you want to
okay.
do that, but you don't have to. So I'm saying you can play in third person.
You're saying if you like taking a third person only game and mod it so that it can be a first, like The Witcher or something like that.
Right. But you can play third person in VR. You can do that. I've done it. Was it Hellblade I was playing? That is
and it's not
in
super
VR
weird. It's not like looking over some other dude's shoulder or something.
No, it was all right. I didn't mind it too much,
Yeah, I don't know. I've still never seen it. I've never put my head in one. Jess, you run around in those yet?
No, not at all. I didn't even try one at the store.
Yeah, I've never tried one. Mo wants one so bad. He's obsessed. I was off last week, you guys, right? But we were up at his cousin's house, and his cousin has VR headset, and he's like, "Dad, I want a PlayStation 5, and I want a VR headset now." And it's like, you got $700? Let's go do it, man.
Speaking of VR, IGN had a pretty great April Fool's joke this year.
What'd they do?
The Virtual Boy Pro for Nintendo fans out there. You might remember the Virtual Boy. They did Virtual Boy Pro. It was basically a Switch turned into a VR headset mounted to your face. Hilarious.
That is real. The Mo has that.
Right. No, I know you've got the adapter you were talking about.
It's not real VR.
So anyway, but Virtual Boy
It's
Pro
silly.
is hilarious just because Virtual
that's
Boy
funny.
is like infamously the biggest flop ever.
Oh boy. Will, was there any other gameplay stuff you want to mention?
No, that's it. Other than Fallout 3, like I said, slow week.
All right, my gameplay won't take too long here. The big news is I decided that I had hit a wall with and Fallout Shelter. I had quests. No, it's not like I'm done playing, and I hit a threshold in the game. Like a lot of the higher level people had died, and I was like this was wearing things. So like I had all those level 1 people who were fully trained, and I was like, shit. I need a couple of these guys in order to do these higher level quests. So I decided I'm not going to wait for the E7 before I start training these guys. This will be like specific quests teams, and they will be replaced later on when we get all of the E7. Like I was just like, whatever, I need quest teams at this point. Otherwise, I'll never get these higher quests done. And in order to get the E7 outfit, you need to complete the higher quest because that's where they put the legendary outfit plans and such. So I sent some people out to be trained, which means get out of the vault, just run around, give them 25 stim packs and see how long they last. Check in on them every day, and hopefully you catch it when they have only a few left because, oh, good Lord, I killed like 9, 10, 12. I don't know. I killed so many people trying to train them up this way. It was a bad idea, you guys. I think I should not have done that. But anyway, now I have 3 teams of 3 trained up with E5 outfits who are up now to level 50. That's like my higher level questing teams. So we'll start pounding on those higher level quests that I couldn't quite finish because all the guys had died for some reason. I don't know why. But the real big news is that we have entered Phase 2, Jess, of Fallout Shelter Survival.
Is everybody pregnant again? What's Phase 2?
Phase 2, E7 has entered the building.
Oh, there we go.
I sent my first person out to start level up all the way to 50 in the E7 outfit. I found out the plan and started to build it, and it was like, it'll take 17 days. And I'm like, fuck that. So like I put in all the people with the highest endurance, and it dropped it down to like
You're like, nobody eats,
3
nobody
or
has power,
4
nobody
days.
does anything
Nobody
until
does
I
anything.
get
Let's
my outfit.
go. E7, come on. But then it was still like 3 or 4 days, and I was like, geez, that's still real long. So I was like, well, I've got 40 some bottles, and it just happens to cost 40 like, yeah, let's do it. So I said, fuck it, let's spend 40 Nuka Quantums, get it done right now, and just start building the second one while the first guy is out getting trained already. So that was the big news. It feels like a giant weight has been lifted off me. And then the less important but next part that we're searching for is that the Dragon's Maw, that plasma thrower rifle that's the highest average. It's not the highest possible damage, but the highest average damage for that range that they give you. So that is the next project here. So we're in phase 2. We're going to start leveling everybody up. Stay tuned for the next 2.5 years of Andrew leveling people up in goddamn Fallout Shelter survival mode.
Yeah, so much quicker when you play it on mobile.
Hey, Jess?
Yeah?
Can we go to the pit?
Let's go to the pit.
I want to go to the pit. All right, let's talk about free labor.
It's funny. I started looking up April Fool's jokes after I talked about that because I wanted to see the picture of the Virtual Boy again. And I feel like this year people were more into April Fools than they have been in a while, which is great. I like April Fools. Like,
what did you see?
I don't do mean-spirited jokes. Okay, here's one of my favorites. Pokemon Company announced they were having a Pokemon Sleep tournament. Do you know what Pokemon Sleep is, Andrew?
I have zero clue. What is that?
It's this game you can play that basically you hook it up to like a Fitbit kind of thing, and it monitors you while you sleep. Like the tournament would be 8 hours, so who could get the best sleep in 8 hours?
That's actually a good challenge, because if you look at my smartwatch, it does not think I sleep very well.
Oh, I would be down for that. There was another Razer came out with the Razer Cthulhu gaming chair. So it's a gaming chair with a bunch of like octopus arms and tendrils
and stuff. Gross.
Yes, and it has like everything you need. It's got like your headset and your controller, and like all kinds of like cool gaming accessories. Anyway, there were a bunch of things.
That would be fun.
But I thought it was a pretty good year for April Fools. Like nothing really mean spirited. At least I didn't see anything mean spirited. It was mostly fun stuff. I still miss the Think Geek April Fools though. Do you remember the Tauntaun?
Yeah.
I don't think so. What they do with
That
the
was
Tauntaun?
the best April Fools ever, wasn't it, Will? I mean, one of them. They did it was basically, it was joking about Tauntaun's sleeping bag, where you could essentially, be like Luke and zip yourself into a Tauntaun. This is like
perfect. That sounds
in the mid
nice
2000s. And then people liked it so much they actually made it and sold it, and it was a pretty hot item.
well, Think Geek started. That started turning into a thing for them. They would like come out with all these funny, like odd April Fool's items, and then they would make a lot of them afterwards. They would do that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost like testing. Like, okay, these are our weirdest ideas. What would people think? So they did them that way. Yeah, good times. Anyway, I closed all that. I didn't do any April Fool's jokes this year. I was lame.
Did you see any, Will?
No, I didn't really pay too much attention. I sort of just forgot about it.
And I know Ray despises comedy of all kinds, so.
It's April 1st is Internet Fasting Day.
Do not look at your social media. Everyone thinks they're hilarious on April Fool's Day. Now, I don't know, the I guess the best one I saw was an announcement that Michael Jordan was going to come back and play one game for the Bulls. I thought that was...
Well, yeah, because you start to fall for it.
It was mildly funny. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. All right, so let's get into the pit.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail us there.
No, we're fine. That was cool. It was April Fool's.
I will go back. I will go back a few years and say one of the better April Fool's jokes was not an April Fool's joke when Fallout 76 announced they were doing triple XP for the weekend, and everyone thought it was April Fool's joke.
And then it was real.
Yeah. That was so good. Oh, wait. Okay, one more. 7-Eleven hot dog water. Sparkling canned hot dog water.
Yum. That sounds like a freighter wash it down thing.
Oh, Freighter was
Gross.
so rude this week. I know, Freighter never rude. No, but he posted a tuna burrito made with Fruit Loops.
I saw that the tuna loop burrito.
Who would
Like,
do that to an unsuspecting
hell is
person
that?
scrolling Facebook?
Some stuff should be illegal.
I would rather eat the stuff they served in the pit. See, I'm bringing it back. I'm sorry I derailed so bad.
Some frog paste.
So after you get your stuff back. So let's wrap up last week. We talked through.
How do they fit all my stuff in that little toolbox? Did you see how much stuff they fit in that toolbox? Well, first of all, how do I fit that much stuff in my backpack?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the deal is there. You got a lot of stuff to begin with, so they're only fitting as much as you brought with you in the first place.
I just thought it was funny. It's coming out of this tiny little toolbox.
Yeah. Well, and not to get too far ahead of the quest, but the same way you put a baby in your backpack, I guess.
Item called baby. Hilarious. So anyway, last week you guys had all kind of wrapped it up. As you know, I was just going to do the whole fights and all that. I hadn't actually gotten any further. I will say myself, in the actual Steelyard, I ended up getting like 38 Ignots, maybe 40. No, I didn't get 40. I didn't turn them in. I got 38. I gave up a little short of what I wanted to do in order to get on with it. But man, the Steelyard really is tense. Like, it's fun, but until you get your equipment, it can be pretty tough when the trogs, I mean, they come running at you pretty hard.
Yeah. So you didn't get that Master Blaster? But isn't that what you
No,
said you
I
wanted?
didn't. Right, and I think that's 40. I'm so close, so I'm obviously going to go back and get it.
I
But
hope
I
you didn't
didn't.
turn in your 8.
No, I'm smart like that. Well, I learned from listening to you, Will, is what happened. Like, I will not do that. I will not make that mistake.
Hilarious.
But I have to say, that supply, what is it called? The supply building?
Yes,
That's a
that's-
pretty cool one to go through. You get the man opener. I really enjoyed that. I mean, we talked about it last week, but without experiencing it, I didn't realize like what a neat little setup it was with the trogs running through and the wild men, and you got to be really careful. And I did the whole thing when I was in the Steelyard crouched, because the only way you know a trog's creeping up on you and about to completely destroy you is if you're hidden and you see it suddenly turn to danger. You're like, ah. But I yelped, like, seriously. When I was in that last week, I yelped multiple times and startled the pug, because they get you. They do. I'm like, gosh, good thing I don't have a heart condition. It was very, very jump scares with those trucks. Anyway, so I finished that. I did the battles. I really did find that the hole was not too hard. I went in there. I pumped the trog buff out, so I had the boost there. Took some Rad-X. I had obviously gotten the armor at that point. What is the armor that you get, you guys? The Rad Shield armor, is it called? What's it called?
Gamma something.
Gamma Shield,
No,
yeah.
Gamma. Is
So
it
I
Gamma
got the
something?
Gamma Shield,
Yeah.
and it was great. I took everybody out pretty easily. The Bear Brothers, I actually went in there with grenades. So just, VATS, grenade, boom, 3 grenades are gone. I didn't even leave my little hidey hole.
Are you explosives? Or do you have high explosives?
I do. It was one of my tag skills.
Okay.
Were you?
I think it was one of my tag skills.
Were you talking about the battle and the arena thing?
Yeah, in the hole. Yep.
Nice.
Checking tag skills, explosives, big guns, and energy weapons. Yep, it was a tag skill. So, I mean, it's not like my highest tag skill. I got it like 45 or 50, but it's enough. Because I'm only level 12 or 13 at this point. I'm still not that high for what we're doing. But good XP from actually, the trogs really aren't great XP.
No, I was gonna say, or when we did Operation Anchorage. Now, granted, went in at a lower level, but I got like 3 levels in Alaska through that. I went into the pit at level 16, and I finished it, and I'm still level 16. So
Yeah.
That was going to be my exact observation. I leveled up a few times in Alaska and 0 times in the pit.
Decent XP from the raiders, not much from the trogs, and there aren't that many quests that you actually finish to get the XP on the way. So yeah, that was a little disappointed. But I was talking you through all that to kind of get to where this quest starts. So you finish in the hole. You are acknowledged and allowed to join the Raiders at that point, become a member of the actual Pitt crew, and enter Uptown and Haven. And we had talked last week or 2 weeks ago about how many people got that. And in the dialogue with Freda, I'm suddenly forgetting her name. F-R-E.
Freda. Yes.
It is Freda. Okay.
F-R-A-Y-D-A, I think.
Yeah, that's what it is, just spelled differently. So she mentions only 3 people. She kind of counts them. Only 3 people have ever moved from slave to joining the gang. So not that many. And one of them is dead, since that's who you have to fight at the end there. But I had so much stuff that I had picked up in the Steelyard that I actually had, and obviously in the hole, that I was over cucumbered at the end of each battle in the hole. Even with the buff out and stuff, like my carry weight's like 230, and I was a cucumber, so I kept dropping. So I had a big old pile of loot in the waiting room there with Freda. And then after you get your stuff back, I'm like, how do I carry this? So finishing this quest, my carry weight was at like 490 or something, like my actual weight. Did you guys have that problem with all that stuff?
Yes.
I didn't pick anything. What are you picking up in there?
I mean, all the people you kill have cool stuff.
I mean, they've got armor with damage of 8, and I don't know.
No.
I play on less difficult. So I don't think my drops are nearly as good as you guys. I never pick anything up because I look at their stuff and I'm like, my stuff's always better.
I don't know how much it changes in 3 on difficulty, but maybe.
Oh, really?
But yeah, like the first people you fight had some Raider stuff, the other scavs. But then the Bear Brothers both had gamma armor, and then the boss guy, he also had gamma armor, and each one is better. So like mine was DR of 19, then the Bear Brothers had like DR of 21 or 22, and then the final guy had a DR of like 29 or 30. It was pretty high.
Yeah, he can combine those down, right?
And I'm combining and repairing and doing what I can. It's still over 400. So essentially, I've just got a big old pile of loot that I'm eventually got to ferry back and forth out of here.
But you got to.
I just had. Oh, sorry.
Can you come back and forth, or do you have to like get it all before you go home forever? You know what I mean?
You can come back and forth. You can come back and forth after you finish it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I did, because I wasn't sure. I was hoping I could, because I didn't really pick so much stuff up from the people in the fighting pit, but I had all that stuff from
the
collecting all the ingots.
Yeah.
Like
all the unique stuff. That's what I was carrying.
So I just kind of I did, though. I came out of the fights, like you said. No,
you mean
and I was just like, well, you know what? I'll just add more to it, more to the chest. I just put, I kept. That chest is my little stash here.
I see. No, that's smart.
Pit.
So if I got the urge, I could come back and look for 90 more ingots if I wanted to, right?
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay.
Yep. And it's not anywhere near as tense once you actually have proper armor and weapons and all that. Much easier. But so yeah, after you do all that, you're told that Asher wants to speak with you. So, I think we actually took some different paths on this, which is exciting. But I moved stuff out of the room and made my little pile out. My pile is actually in the, whatever that building's called, the mill, the forge mill area, because I didn't know if I could get back into the hole, where Phaedra is. I wasn't sure if I could get back in there or not. So I wanted to make sure. So that's where my pile is now after I got all my stuff back. And it's nice to be back in the T51, Anchorage Power Armor. That stuff is sweet.
Yep.
So you go and you can talk to Asher. Obviously, you can talk to people on the way. First, actually, do we talk to Medea when we first leave?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, right. I'm thinking about Medea because I did go to Medea after I finished.
I guess you could go see her. I didn't. I was in
there.
Mm-hmm.
I went in her little apartment thing.
Yeah, I guess I'm getting a little bit confused because I finished the other quest. So I went to her apartment thing before the fight. I did think I checked with her before I went to Asher because you leave and now you can go back out. You can talk to everybody. So I still, explored the area pretty thoroughly, and then headed up to Uptown to meet Asher.
And just while you're walking along, you could just hear everyone just saying, like, oh, you got your ticket out of here, huh? Lucky you. It's like, oh, Lord Asher wants a word with you. Good luck. And everyone's just all giving you comments as you walk.
Yeah, the raiders are somewhat impressed. I feel like the slaves are too, but you see them huddled and getting ready because stuff's about to go down. So you know that they're up to stuff. So anyway, you get yourself into Uptown, which is back in the mill and up the stairs, and you actually go through the door. So I went up the stairs and got it all turned around, but that's the whole thing. Heading to Haven. Andrew's like, I did not get lost once. Good job, Andrew.
No, I was about to have a shameful admission session. I haven't finished it because I have spent literally the last 2 hours going up and down staircases, up and down the fucking buildings, looking in this goddamn skyscraper. Is it this one or is it that one? No, gotta go down. You have to go down to go up. Don't forget that. You gotta go left to go right. You know what I mean? You gotta drop down to this level so you can go up 2 levels up over that way. Oh, God damn it.
You made it?
I didn't finish. No, I did not finish because I'm trying to get out of the fucking place. Oh.
Okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. But did you make it into Uptown and just not find Haven, or did you not find either?
I am completely done with everything except for the very last step, but I can't find it, and that's infuriating me.
So very last
step. I didn't mean to jump ahead. Sorry.
No, that's cool. That's cool. We'll get there. Well, anyway, you make your way to Haven, and you have to go in and talk to Asher. I don't know.
But before you get there, you do want to stop in the apartment building and pick up the Hat of the People.
I didn't see that. What's
if
that?
If you're a small gun user. So there's a unique item on your way. It's in Uptown. There's when you're going through the scaffolding, you hop off the scaffolding and go into an apartment building that you can access and go upstairs and get the hat.
The Hat of the People looks like a Chinese or Russian hat. It's got like that classic.
Yeah, it is a Chinese.
Ushanka.
Yeah, kind of like the Ushanka hat.
So what does it do?
+5 small guns.
So if maybe I don't need it because I felt like I'm small guns, but I need it. But if I'm already at 100, then it won't do anything for me.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and it's just, only DR1.
Yeah. It's but if anybody is collecting all this stuff, that's a stuff.
Yeah.
So Andrew, just so you don't get lost trying to find it, it's on the 2nd floor of the abandoned apartments behind a locked door on the left down the hall.
That sounds exactly like every building that I've been in.
Yeah, you probably passed
exactly
it 10
like that.
times.
I did. I know I have. I've been in that one. I've been in that one 100 times.
But yeah, so let's talk through getting to Asher and what you talked to him. I mean, how did you guys tackle this? Did you go right to Asher? Did you do much on the way?
I tried to kill him first, but that battle was too difficult, so I tried it many times, but ended up having to reload.
How about you, Ray? How did you tackle it once you got your hat?
I had to reload once because I laid down a bunch of mines and then got sucked into a conversation with him, which then I told him that, I was going to kill him, which makes him aggro, which set off the mines, which killed me.
Oh, no. You were in your own mind threatening him.
So you're good. Was that a karma check for you? You're good karma, right?
Yeah, I'm good karma. I'm so good I can do whatever I want.
You're not spoiled at all, are you, Ray? Is there demolition expert or anything that prevents explosion damage? No.
I just have I had 19 mines that I picked up off the bridge on the way in.
That'll cause a chain reaction. That'll do it.
So after I learned my lesson, I went back and planted all the mines around him, went into the lab and, planted all the mines in there. And then I pulled out my silenced 10mm pistol and shot Asher. And he's like, what was that? and turned aggro, and then boom, was gone. When he turned aggro, his wife turns aggro, which set off all of her minds. And, then I went in and got all of his loot and all of her loot and the baby.
So the conversation with Asher is when you go in and you talk to him about joining or not. And at that point, you can decide if you're going to side with him. And he tells you kind of about his long-term plans. And this is where you learn, about the cure being their baby Marie, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And you kind of learn about what's happening there. And you can choose if you're going to side with him. Actually, at this point, you don't initially have to make a decision. You don't really do that until you go and talk to his wife and decide if you're taking the baby or not. But it sounds like you guys jumped ahead and just started fighting Asher.
Yeah, I didn't get to do that because
him.
I went in and he's like, at first he's like, oh, so you're the guy the new champion or something or whatever. He's like, let me ask you this: who are you and what are you doing? And
Right.
that's why I was asking Ray about the karma thing, because my character's evil, still, even though I've been doing a lot of good things lately. But one of the options for me was it said karma, and it's like I'm the guy that's going to kill you and take over the pit. And I was like, well, I'm an evil character. I guess I just got to take that. And so, and as I mentioned, he's my character sort of has that bloodlust, anyways. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and so that was it. As Ray said, he just went aggro, and so that started. So I didn't get any conversation with him at all. I
Wow.
did die once right then too because I wasn't ready for them all to go aggro. So I reloaded, and this time I just took a buff out, a psycho, a med-X, and everything. And I think I got addicted to med-X again or something else again. I was already addicted to med-X. I got addicted to one other thing or two other things. By the end of this the pit thing, I was addicted to med-X, buff out, psycho, and jet. So.
That's a rough night, Will. Good Lord.
While continually chugging Rad-X and Radaway because of your rad issue.
Yes, yeah.
Have
It
you
wasn't
fixed
too bad
that
this
at all?
time.
Okay.
No, but this time it wasn't too bad because a lot of that stuff in the building was in the building. I don't have there's not that weather causing the radiation in there. There was some when I was outside, but I guess I was lucky this time. There wasn't as much rain as I had been getting.
Mhm.
So this time, not as significant.
So if you don't make verbal choices that immediately aggro Asher and surround him by mines or that sort of thing, you can kind of learn more about the pit, how it's set up, what his goals are. You can talk to him about Werner, and you can be honest with him, let him know that Werner sent you there, and he kind of lets you know that yeah, he thought as much, and killing Werner will help because Werner's been causing needless death by rallying the slaves and trying to start a riot and stuff like that. And he lets you know that his motives are maybe not as pure as you think. And so he outlines his better idea, in which case you can also go to the doctor and talk to her and learn more about what she's working on for the cure too, and with the child. And that's the point where, and I assume you guys just took the baby there, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The funniest part is like I had gotten up to that part maybe a little bit past, and then quit, and then hadn't played for like a while, and then like restarted, loaded the game, and was like, oh, I wonder what I've been doing, what's happening here in the game, and then in the upper left-hand corner it flashes like if something has changed in your inventory or something. It's like it just flashed like baby added. Like
miscellaneous item, baby.
What have I been doing? That was a rough night as well.
So once again, Sandra seems pretty reliable if you actually take time to talk to her and you understand, what she's working towards. And, it's her child. It's her and Asher's child. And they're trying to, synthesize a cure, make the pit a better place to live, because they're like the biggest reason why we're in the structure we're in now, why we keep bringing people from outside, is that we can't grow organically. We have, many bad childbirths, many people who do live here die before they're old enough to have kids of their own. We can't grow. We're constantly dying people, and that's why we keep bringing in slaves and other people.
Well, and they talk about what is it, troglodyte degenerative condition, something like that.
Yeah.
And they say that, it starts to affect everyone, and basically like 20% turn into trogs, but that 100% of babies born inside the pit turn into trogs, or
within a certain time period, they all were dead or trogs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're very ill. So you can take the baby, obviously, and obviously she gets angry. She starts talking to the guards, and once you leave, everybody's going to start fighting you. Or you cannot take the baby and be like, yeah, they're making a good point. I'm going to go talk to Medea. Let them know I'm not down with this baby napping. And when you leave, boom, everybody's fighting, and you will be attacked by the revolting slaves. They're not revolting. They're having a revolt. They're not revolting. Anyway, the revolting slaves. And if you kill them, you lose karma. So it's best to just kind of let them whack you and keep running, or go into stealth and sneak if you don't want to lose karma.
Yeah, well, and I've got that Chinese stealth suit that I brought with me, and so I just creep through the whole place and not have to worry about anybody doing anything.
He gives you a stealth boy, doesn't he? Before you go.
Yeah.
What's his name?
A little bit later on when you get to Werner. Yeah.
Oh, right. No, you're right. That's later.
Yep.
Well, and plus I picked up a couple of them while I was there. So I actually tossed them because I didn't need them.
I always forget to use them, so I always end up selling them anyhow.
I was actually thinking about Ray when that one part later on. I'm like, sure, wish I had a stealth suit.
Yeah. And because I didn't, the only things I brought with me was the Chinese stealth suit, the Jingwei sword, and the silenced 10mm pistol.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I was able to pick up a lot of stuff. So I had both sets of power armor, along with, the mauler and the man opener. Which as you go back towards downtown, and the slaves are fighting the guards, a lot of them are dying, and they've got the auto axe on them. So now my mauler and my man opener are both in pristine
fully
condition.
Repaired.
Yeah.
You're sneaking up and looting the bodies. Yeah, I mean, because the slaves don't really stand a chance against the raider guards. I mean, without you jumping in and helping them and choosing their side and fighting too, they're all going to die pretty much. Like maybe I don't know how many raiders might be taken out. Again, I was surprised at how many were fighting, and I'm like, I got to get to Medea. So I just kind of beelined through and tried not to engage any if I could. And the fighting's even happening outside of Uptown. Like the fighting is right when you first leave too, right? Was it for you guys?
Yeah, it was as soon as I left the building after killing all the raiders inside.
Mm-hmm.
That's leaving that building's when I thought of you guys, and I was like, how the fuck do they do this? Because I was playing on, easy or whatever, and I had to reload like 6 times going out of that building just because it's like that wave is just insane. There's like 12 people who arrive, and half of them are named bad guys with like really high armor. Wait, DR? Yeah, like damage resistance and like. So I just couldn't. I just kept getting overwhelmed. I couldn't keep my distance. Plus, this is so fucking annoying. They can run backwards faster and shoot than I can run forwards with my melee weapon.
Were you over cucumbered, or just because you had your melee weapon out, you were that slow?
The auto axe, I don't know if the weight of your weapon has anything to do with your speed of running. I gather in Skyrim when you holster your weapon that you do run faster. I've never noticed a huge difference in Fallout. Like I think in Skyrim it makes a real significant difference. In Fallout I haven't noticed it make as much of a
minor
difference.
I think.
Yeah, it's pretty subtle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like they can run backwards faster and shoot me faster than I can run forward. And then I'm
being
just like,
a
what the
lower
fuck?
level melee character like you are. Yeah, that would be hard. I mean, you got the big guns too, right? But lower level melee character, I can see that being tough.
I don't have my flamer with me. I dumped everything before I came. And
so
my flamer, I only
easier...
have like 100 shots worth anyway, so it's not like it's my everyday weapon.
Easier for me because I'm not getting mobbed by slaves. By taking Asher's side on this, they're not going to do a whole lot of damage, and they're fighting the tough raiders that you're having to fight. So I was fine. Obviously, Ray was sneaking. Will, were you sneaking too? You're muted.
Whoops, no, I wasn't sneaking. Because I was a little bit confused at first because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't realize it was a revolt or something. Because I just walked out and I see some raiders. I'm like, oh gosh, I'm about ready to shoot them. And then they're like, hey, scram, whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm walking. Then I see these other people running up with guns, and then some started shooting at me. And then, I slowly sort of figured it out. And I was like, oh, okay, they're fighting. I just sort of ran past a lot of them. They didn't do anything because they were too busy. But then I did. Up there in those apartments or something, I let myself get cornered, and those named raiders that Andrew was talking about, just sort of kept coming at me, and I think that part I went through like 15 stem packs or something to try to, shoot all those that were coming out of me and at me and get out of there. And then of course, as you were talking about, Andrew, like getting lost in there, I was lost. I kept trying to find my way back out, and I couldn't do it. Like I just kept running into him. And so no, I had a lot of fighting going on. Finally, I lucked my way out. I didn't even find the exit. Like I accidentally fell off something, but I fell off to like the right side almost where I needed to go. And I was like, oh, cool. Awesome.
Perfect.
It only took like 2/3 of my health, but
how I ended up doing it was like the first named guy that came around the corner, I like ducked real quick and sort of kited him back further down the fenced alleyway and made the turn around back to the left. There was like sort of a hump of garbage and then like a corner that like you couldn't really see, and I managed to get him alone without everyone else following us back there. I killed him. He had really good armor. When I put his armor on, that's the time that I was able to, now I'm going to put on my Med X and my buff out and, my Psycho, and let's go to town now. And that one I finally is the one that worked, but it took like doing a special like trick to do it. I could not defeat all those people at once.
Well, when you do make it to Medea, she might have been more complimentary for you guys. For me, she was pretty pissed that, up on her high horse a little bit, like, oh, you got a taste of the good life now and you won't help us anymore. You lost your motivation. What are we supposed to do?
Steal a baby for me.
And that's just it, because you tell her, hey, did you know it was a baby? And she's like, yeah, of course I did, but that's not what's important. And I mean, as you talk through her tree, you can get her to admit that it was more Werner's idea and she didn't want to steal the kid, but freedom is what matters. And and you can eventually get her to tell you where Werner is, in the still yard, in a little hidden area that you would bring the baby to, which I assume you guys got the directions on where to bring the baby and deposit it in the slot.
Yeah. And
the baby's
he
slot,
was such a jerk. I mean, he was, calling her a brat,
yeah.
And, suggesting that, she might not survive the whole process and everything.
Exactly.
Should we leave her with him?
Probably yeah. I mean, and you do it, at least at first. Obviously, it can get better, and Medea will help take care of the baby and stuff. But yeah, I mean, stealing a baby from the parents, I feel like Asher in a lot of ways was the better choice. Now, that's if he actually follows through. You know what I mean? They say they're going to be egalitarian about it. They say they're working hard to find the cure. Sandra, I think that's the doctor's name, has the best technology, and she wants to keep her daughter safe, but she also does want to synthesize a cure and help people. So as long as they actually do that, and then they do share it with people and don't just use it to maintain power in the pit, then I think it's a better outcome than giving the baby to, I don't know that Medea has that much technical knowledge to work on a cure. She doesn't say that she does. They just have, some equipment they can try to use. And it seems like much worse in a lot of ways for the baby without giving the people at Pitt much of a chance. Yeah, they're free, but they're in a lot worse position almost. It's funny, before all this, even, I know we haven't gotten to Werner yet, really, except what Ray just said, but Medea even says to you early on in the quest, not this one, but last week, sometimes I think this place is maybe better with Asher than it was before he got here. That is something that they say. And then she kind of tries to take it back. She's like, I shouldn't say that. But that, that there is something to the structure they have. And hopefully, obviously, it gets much better. And this helps if you side with him. But I feel like it's the great choice.
And I think he said it's because, obviously I just killed Asher right away and killed everyone. So I didn't get to have that conversation with Sandra about what all they're doing and everything. But you find her research, and then they're on the computer notes, and so you know exactly what they're doing. And then there are those diaries in one of the safe that Asher's leaving to Marie, the little girl. And then I guess from that you could get the sense that he is, trying to do a good thing, because he talked about in 10 years from now, if you're reading this will be, great, and everyone will be healthy, and you'll be like a hero or a celebrity or
Yeah, and he talks about how he came to be, the top dog.
Yes,
like he had to fight his way through the hole too, to get his shot at being the boss. So, yeah, they make it Bethesda's good at making no good choices. Everything
make
comes
them all
with
gray.
It's compromise. And this one's no different. So Asher isn't the bad guy, and Werner's not the good guy.
Yeah, Werner. I mean, he just seems like a jerk. And like as soon as he realizes they don't have the baby, I mean, he turns so hard on you. I mean, as you would expect, but he just talks about wanting to whip everybody into shape. And about, so we can't really fix things for a while yet, but we'll get there eventually. Which you can say, that's the same thing Asher's saying, but it seems a lot more hopeless with the way Werner's talking about it. Like he has no actual plan. He just wants to be in charge and wants to kill Asher.
Yeah. And so, if you do side with Werner, then he sends you down into the sewers to access the power plant. So that you can turn off the power to the spotlights in Uptown, which is how they keep the Trogs from entering Uptown. And so you go in, and there's a lot of Trogs down there.
Yeah.
You make your way down. Of course, for me, they were bumping into me and not knowing it. So it was pretty simple, but you make your way through, and then you flip the switch, and then as you exit, you see the Trogs running in and killing the one or two raiders that were left in there from the fight before.
See, so I just talked Werner out of it, and I got him to go, and that was pretty much it. I talked him down, I finished that all off, and had to go back to Asher. So you guys had a whole nother section of the quest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Andrew or Will, you guys weren't masters of sneak, bumping into Trogs. How did you survive?
Well, I had pretty good sneak, but not anywhere near Ray in the stealth suit, in the Chinese stealth suit. I had to just fight my way through. There were a lot of them, and and you were talking earlier about the Trogs like giving you like starts and jump scares and things like that when you were in the steel yard. I didn't notice it too much then, but especially in this section, going through that scaffolding and first you get through sewers and you get to that plant in the power plant. I felt like they were just jumping down on top of me from I didn't know where. Like I didn't know where they came from. Sometimes there were a bunch of them. So, but I just had to. I mostly used my combat shotgun throughout all that.
Wow. So you do all that, and the Trogs basically they take care of most people in Uptown.
Yeah.
That you didn't already.
Yeah, and then so you make your way back to downtown, and that's when the quest ends, and you get the perk with the plus 10 radiation resistance.
Mm-hmm.
And then Warner
Yay.
tells you can come back whenever you want.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I mean, there are a number of perks along the way. You get the one for after you finish in the hole for dealing with rads better. You get the one for more damage with the manhole. The what's
Man
it called?
opener.
Man opener. So yeah, you get the perk for more damage with that and any auto axe, and then at the end you get the big boost. So I mean, those are all pretty cool. But if you don't side with Werner, it's kind of the same. I mean, Asher just says he did the right thing. People are generally happy. Some of the slaves are dead for sure. They did die in the fighting, but not everyone. There's certainly plenty still left alive, and everybody seems to kind of settle down. And you're told you can kind of come and go as you want, so you still get prizes and stuff.
Yeah, and Werner gives you keys to the ammo machine.
You get it from Asher too. You can use the ammo press all you want.
So now for me, once I was done and I walked out the gate to go to the bridge, all those raiders were still right outside, mechs and all those guys. And I didn't expect that. So I wasn't in sneak. And so all hell's breaking loose. And so, I'm just, hacking and slashing with the Jingwei sword. And all of a sudden I hit this character, and I see that it's Warner.
Whoops.
Uh-oh.
And so I'm like, okay, cool. So I hit him a couple more times and he dies.
Oh.
Hooray.
So that's what he gets for being such an ass.
Everybody wins.
Yeah. So now everybody is dead.
When you first learned that we were finding a cure or searching for an object for...
Yeah, they want you to steal the cure.
What did you imagine the item or cure was? A sheet of paper with instructions, a vial, a syringe with actual chemical in it? What? Because baby
naturally
is
you
not,
think of the mole rat disease cure.
Naturally, you think it's a baby, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously at this point most of us knew, but back in the day, I don't remember.
I didn't, and no one had spoiled me yet. I was like
a syringe.
What the fuck? The actual fuck, indeed. Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
it's
it
pretty
totally,
extreme.
To anyone else who had seen this for the first time, I was just curious if you also had that. I assume you had to have that reaction for seeing this for the first time. If you hadn't, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. Who would think it's a baby?
Like, oh, I'm going to go find... It's definitely a baby. We're looking for a baby. Well, we got the baby. Papoose on the back. I don't know. Where is that baby? It's in our pocket somewhere. We got a baby.
In your miscellaneous
He's
junk.
playing with the flamer
that,
in my backpack. Don't worry
I had
about
on
the
the
baby.
stealth suit, so I'm not sure where it was.
I couldn't see the baby. He had a stealth suit on too.
It was riding on the outside of the stealth suit like Vasco on your spaceship, just kind of standing on your head.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, so the pit. I mean, we got a few quests we can do. We can go back. Those of us who didn't finish the Ignats can go, and we can finish them up if we want.
Okay, ingots. What else? There's other actual like side quests and stuff to do there too.
Yeah, like we talked about. There's the teddy bears at this point.
Okay.
I think the line of the side quest with Bran giving him information is probably done because I don't know if that's done or not, but I didn't do it anyway. And that's pretty much it. Look for Ignats, do the teddy bears, talk to a few people, but there's really 3 main quests and 3 side quests, and that's it.
Did this DLC, the sort of does it remind you of any other DLCs? I'll just simply put it out like that. Did it remind you of anything? Not 76. That's not what I'm getting at.
Right. No, not in particular. Thinking about New Vegas, like a little bit, but they were all a little bit more fleshed out.
Go that way. The up and down, go over here to go down, and then have to go up here to go up 2 levels to go down 1 over there, and go up and down, or go across this bridge to get back down underneath to get over to that canyon to get up to this high ridge point. Totally felt like Honest Hearts to me. I was just like going up and down and back and forth and criss and cross, and like the structure of the layout. Even though one was city and one was canyon, it felt very similar, that instead of being able to use the wide space, they now are using the vertical space to have like, I don't want to say puzzles.
When
but
you
like,
put it that way, I really do feel it too. I would say Honest Hearts with Joshua Graham as a character, with the actual views and being outside for the most part, and the different factions, I think Honest Hearts was better fleshed out, in my opinion. I didn't feel as like claustrophobic as I did in the Pit.
Yeah.
But now they talk about it like that, the structure, yeah, I can totally feel that.
Just all my running around today and frustration, I was like, I feel just like as frustrated as I did trying to navigate the canyons in goddamn Honest Hearts. This is
One of these days we're gonna have to make you do Dead Money in New Vegas, and then you'll understand true frustration up and down in which direction.
Oh, don't! I quit. I'm done.
It's the worst, and that's what I thought you were getting at, because there you try to leave with the gold, and picking up all the Ignots kind of like leaving with the gold in a way. So I thought that's what you were going for. Speaking of which, Stelior reminds us that after you've done the quest, now the Ignots are £1 a piece. So they have no weight.
Oh, fuck.
Originally, they have weight after all this.
Yeah. But you can just go in and you take them in groups of 10 to collect each of the different rewards.
Yeah, so it's not that bad.
Ray, was there one you were aiming for?
So I wanted everything.
Did you turn all of them in?
Yeah.
Cool. Will, you said you got 94.
I didn't need anything. I mean, the 2 auto axes are nice, but I'll stick with my sword.
Well, and you modders can just give yourself God mode or whatever you want. So I mean, who cares? You can just give yourself whatever you want.
Except Ray's playing vanilla, but yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Brave New World. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, we're really going to be, we got to get the steroids ready. Because finding your way through Mothership Zeta is going to be, and there's a lot of collection points on that one too. So
here's a question, Ray. Did you meet O-Dog up around Uptown? Like if you actually talked to some of the raiders up there?
I did.
I didn't talk to anybody.
I was like, is this Three Dog's like weird cousin? Who's O-Dog?
It's Zero Dog. No, O-Dog. Yeah, so O-Dog is I'm not going to call him a cannibal, but he's got a fascination with meat. He's like a prototype Graham. He basically says, yeah, everybody's just meat. You just moved up the food chain. You're just a higher grade sausage now up here with us. It made me laugh.
Okay, I remember that. I forgot.
That's really funny.
Like a cannibal.
Is it O-Dog or A-Dog?
Aw, dog.
Oh, dog.
I actually think Zero Dog would be hilarious now that we got 3 dogs. So
3 Dog and 0 Dog. Good stuff. All right. Any other observations about our quests? Did our roles play any, our roundtable roles play any specific contributions or detriments to the adventure this week?
For me, definitely, in that I had put all my points into energy weapons, and really my small guns was 30, my melee was 15 or 17. I was pretty weak as far as that goes. And also, going in there at level 11, being level 12, 13 by the time I left. Like, I was not a very high level.
You did level up then in there.
I did, but I was lower than you guys. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's where you're at when you go in, too.
I guess so.
Yeah, and for me, with sneak and melee being my my driving force,
So that worked
it
out
was it was just a no-brainer.
well. Yep. Like butter.
Mhm.
All right. Would like to hear your thoughts on our quest for this week. Go ahead and send us your 5-minute feedback. thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. Would like to hear your adventures in free labor. Tell us all about it.
Yeah. Well, maybe somebody will do the. So there's a way that you can.
Listen up.
You can do the quests
Backward.
so that both of them are alive, I think.
Really? But besides like talking them down? Like,
Yeah, essentially you do, you use I think Black Widow on Werner.
mhm.
Or maybe it's Black Widow on Asher, and then you tell Werner that you're not going to give him the baby. There's something you can do that they both live, which I didn't really see the point. I like my way better, where they both die.
I mean, technically in mine, Werner didn't die. I talked him into leaving forever. So I don't know if it's similar or different.
We resolved everything peacefully, but I still killed him anyway.
But one thing, that's awesome. One thing, we didn't really get into the politics. Like, I am curious about other people's opinions on politics and feedback. Let us know what you did there. Also, for feedback next week, because it's really just this one quest and it's pretty quick. Like, we talk through it at length, but it's, 15 minutes if you don't fight much and just kind of go through and do stuff. So, feel free and let us know what you're up to in the Capital Wasteland, too. We're wrapping the pit, but this is kind of a little extra time before we go to Mothership Zeta and start that in 2 weeks.
So we're going to space.
Yes.
And there's a big guns weapon that you'll pick up.
Oh, no way. Hopefully let's see, what would they do? Gatling laser, maybe? No?
No.
A big gun from there. Let's see. What could it be? It's got
What's it called? A drone cannon, I think it's called.
Ooh, that's intriguing. Have to research a little bit more about that.
Yeah, the drone cannon, XB drone cannon.
Yep.
Looks awesome.
So, yeah, and definitely a bunch of energy weapons and
Nice.
the alien blaster.
Oh, I love the alien blaster. I still use that in 76.
A lot of the items we get in 76. So with the new alien event, when we started getting the disintegrator and is it the pulverizer or, the shock baton thing there?
Yeah, that all
the
comes
weird
from
alien
this.
probe.
That's all the Zeta stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Very awesome. All right. You guys want to roll into a little bit of...
What time is it? Game time!
Hey, Will. Let's play your game.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So this week. It's just a continuation. I had made a whole bunch of the cards or whatever for our game that we played, which was higher, lower, if you remember, which was I say an item. We'll start with an item. It has a value to weight ratio. And then the next item, you have to say whether it has a higher or lower value to weight ratio. It's sort of
So much fun.
Yeah, it was sort of an experiment in inventory management, if you will. So
the score on this was a little bit different. I couldn't really keep score. It was kind of up to you to keep track, as it were, as we went on this one, right?
Yeah, I was just counting the number of times you guys missed any.
Okay.
That was it. And I have the same thing. And actually, I still have my same little score sheet here in front of me. So I'll just keep yelling the same order since it doesn't really matter. It'll just be,
okay.
Y'all have the same opportunities.
And did you say you had an addendum on this one or a new bit?
I did. I put a little bonus section on this. Let's say, kind of related. It's because of something Andrew said last time. But so I think
I don't remember what I said. What did I say?
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll wait till you get to it because I don't want to spoil this.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I probably should spoil the surprise, but I don't remember which item we actually stopped with last time, but I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll just pretend it was I think we actually started with this one, the Nuka-Cola truck, which had a value of 2.5 because it is worth 5 caps and weighed 2 pounds. So we're going to start with 2.5 with the Nuka-Cola truck, and we're going to start with Andrew and a Abraxo cleaner.
Let's see. That probably has a value of Braxo. I'm gonna. Golly, sorry. Yeah, I think Abraxo has a higher value ratio.
Higher? It does. It is worth 5 caps and it's 1, so value ratio 5.
Yeah.
Ray, Wonder Glue.
I'm going to say higher.
Correct. It has a 10-to-1 ratio, and it's exactly that, 10 caps.
5-to-1, 10-to-1. Okay, good job, Ray.
Okay, so Jess, Conductor.
Oh, Conductor has a weight of 5 and a value of 25 or 30.
Whoa, really?
That would be 6-to-1, so it's going to be lower.
It is lower, but its value is 30 and its weight is 5. So it has
so that's 6-to-1.
6-to-1, yes.
Yep.
So it is lower. You got it right. Andrew,
Yeah.
I like the noise effects. Hot Plate.
Hot plate. God, maybe lower. Let's go with lower.
It is lower. It's 2.5 at 5-to-2, so
Nice.
2.5. Ray, a baseball.
I'll say higher.
It is lower, 2-to-1, so 2 caps. So
Baseball doesn't weigh a goddamn pound, does it? Jeez.
it weighs 2 pounds in
What?
Fallout.
It's waterlogged.
Radiation
Check that
or
ball.
Yeah. Jess, metal cooking pot.
Okay. I'll stop the sound effects. That was a lot of fun. I thought every time would be nifty.
It was fun.
Okay, well, maybe we'll get a few more in there, especially people are wrong. Metal cooking pot, what was the last ratio?
Baseball was 2 pounds to 1, so it was 2.
So not that high, but I feel like metal pots aren't really much better. I'm going to go with lower.
It is lower. It's 1-to-1, so 1.
Yes.
And that was Jess. And we're back to Andrew.
A baseball weighs twice as much as a metal pot.
It's very thin metal, okay, Andrew? It's aluminium.
Making sure you're not playing baseball with a bowling ball.
That is funny. Let's see what we're. It's back to. Wait, you just guessed that one, right, Jess?
I think it's Ray.
Yes.
Is it
Yeah.
Ray?
So
No,
we are back
me.
to Andrew with a pilot light.
Oh, that's got to be way higher.
It is higher. It's 14 caps, weighs 1 pound.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's one of those
Ray?
pick me up numbers.
A carton of cigarettes.
Seems to me those were pretty valuable, but I'm going to say lower.
It is higher. They're worth 50 caps and weigh
Oh.
2
And Ray,
pounds.
I'm
A lot
sorry.
more than I thought.
And Jess, tweezers.
So we're going compared to Ray's that we just had, right? What was the
Yes,
ratio
the
there?
25. The ratio is 25 because they weigh 50, or they're worth 50, weigh 2.
Yep. Yeah, gosh. Tweezers have to be less than that, right? I don't want to be picky, but we're going to go say tweezers are worth 8 and weigh 1, maybe 10 to 1. Yeah, less.
It is less, but it was 3-to-1. They're worth 3 caps, 1 pound. And Andrew, bone saw.
It's got to have low value. Lower.
gonna
You going lower? Okay, it is just barely lower. It's 2.5. It weighs, or it's worth 5 and weighs 2.
He was right again. Couldn't get any of them wrong.
Andrew
I
has
should
yet
go on
to
the
miss
goddamn
the
Price
last
is
week either.
Right.
Yes.
Put me on the showcase showdown now.
Okay. That was Andrew. Ray,
Ray's got this one.
an 8-ball.
Lower.
It is lower, very close. It was 2 to that bone saw. It was 2.5. So 2-1 was the thing on it. Jess, a leather belt.
Is leather belt more than 2-1? You know, a lot of the trials had leather belts, which is weird since I didn't wear trousers. But I feel like the leather belt was 5, and I feel like it only weighed 1, so I'm going to say higher.
It is. This time, one of the anomalous things, if you will, from last week when we were playing is you nailed the actual weight and price of a couple of items and then picked something else anyways and picked the other way.
This time I'm going with my gut.
Yeah. And so you were right. It's worth 5 and weighs 1. And so you were right.
Awesome.
All right, 5-1.
Andrew, a pressure cooker.
I feel like those are worth 20, but weigh 4, also 5-2. Would you do an even? No, you have to always go up and down.
You
wouldn't do an
thing,
even,
these are
would
mostly in random order. If there were any that were the same, I made sure there was no same.
Okay,
so it's either higher or lower.
Let's go with lower then.
It is lower. They weigh 15 and they're worth 5, so a 3 value.
What did I say, 4 and 20? Yeah. Close.
Impressive.
Yeah, that was Andrew. So Ray, okay, this is different. A metal cooking pan. We had the metal cooking pot earlier.
I'll go with lower.
It is. It's higher. It's worth 5 caps. Weighs 1. It still weighs 1. It's just worth more than a pot. I have no idea why.
I was robbed.
Must be copper or something.
Yeah, who knows? Jess, Deathclaw hand.
Oh, that's gotta be higher. I'm gonna go higher.
It is higher. It's 25-1, so 25. Yeah.
Sweet.
Andrew, a rad scorpion gland.
It's got to be lower because 25-1 is hard to beat.
It is 30-1.
God
Andrew
damn
missed
it.
the first one. You are no longer perfect.
Oh wow,
Sorry, Andrew.
That's what is that? The rad scorpion gland is
Yes.
30-1. Holy cow!
It's worth so much, but I thought it was lower too. I'm like, oh, he's got to be right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm going to go with lower.
And
I
Whatever
don't
the
care
item
what
is,
it
it doesn't
is.
matter what it is.
bing, bing, Ray got it lower. It, by the way, we had the metal cooking pot. This is a pot, and it has a 0 value. It's worth 0 caps and weighs 2 pounds.
Oh, for crying out loud.
No value. Do not pick this up.
So, going from 0, Jess, an empty syringe.
Wait, so we were at 0. And now we're going
Yes.
empty syringe. I guess we're gonna have to go higher because we don't go lower than 0.
Well,
It's
it
hard to go
actually-
lower. Yeah.
It actually kills you when you put an empty syringe in your vein, so it's actually a negative.
Yeah. 5-1 is that one. So five was the thing. Andrew, a fission battery.
They're relatively heavy. Let's go less, I guess.
It is higher. You were
God
right at the
damn.
weight. They are 10 pounds, but they're worth 75 caps. So
God,
the
they are,
value is
man.
7.5.
They're almost worth picking
2
up.
in a row. for
Jeez,
Andrew. That's
Jess,
a
you
perfect streak.
spooked me. She cursed
I
me
mean,
with crickets.
I think you did it to yourself, Andrew. You know, you could have guessed right. That's on you.
So
Damn.
Ouch.
we are back at that was Andrew. So we're back with Ray and surgical tubing.
Surgical tubing. Higher or lower than 7.5? I'll go lower.
It is higher. So yeah, it's 10-1. It weighs 1 pound. It's worth 10 caps.
Okay.
That was Ray. Jess, motorcycle handbrake.
10-1 was the last one.
Yes.
I feel like motorcycle handbrake is like in the 25-4 or something, probably 5-1ish, 4-1ish. So we're gonna go lower.
It is higher. It's 15-1. Worth 15, weighs 1 pound.
Okay, sorry.
It's only your first one you missed today. though.
15-1. Okay.
I get the toilet for that one too. That was
Oh,
This is our
flushed
last,
it out.
All right. So our last little round of these cards here. Back to Andrew for a box of detergent.
It's got to be under 15-1. Under. Lower.
It is one. It's 1-1. So 1.
Ooh, yeah, barely picked that up.
Ray Lunchbox.
Higher.
Higher at 3. 3-1. And finally, Jess, a leaf blower.
3-1. Leaf blower weighs a lot. It's worth a decent amount. Gonna go with higher.
It is higher. It's 15-2, so 7.5.
Well
So
played.
That means for this week, you know what, Andrew, even though he was perfect for so long, Jess only missed one. Jess got 1 wrong. Andrew got 2 wrong. Ray got 4 wrong.
Good job, Jess. Holy cow.
Nice.
So it came down to I had 9 to 8 to 4. Is that right? Is that what you had?
Oh, total? You mean adding last week too?
You were just marking we got it wrong.
I was just marking ones that you got wrong, right? Yeah.
Perfect. Well, then we'll thank you. Thank you. I'd like to thank the Academy.
There was
And
much rejoicing.
also way too much time on the wiki. Thank you so much.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so Andrew,
Yes.
last week you made the comment when we started doing this, you went, wow, that's some real Bob Barker shit right there. I think that was
Yeah.
the quote.
That is, yeah.
So I decided to lean into it.
Uh-oh.
You won last week, Andrew.
Yes.
Jess won this week. That
Showcase
means you are
showdown.
both in the Showcase Showdown.
Showcase showdown time.
Oh, this is hot. Okay, let's go.
Yeah,
Do we have
okay.
a theme song for the Showcase Showdown?
So what do we got?
No. It's like do Showcase Showdown.
There you go.
Oh, that's good. You know, I was going to go with Jeopardy, but I like yours better. I mean, here we go. Do the Fallout Fuse theme song. Tell us about the Showcase Showdown. How does it work?
Okay, so the way we are going to do this, if you've all played the watch The Price is Right, I'm going to present to you a showcase with some items. You're going to have to just guess the actual. This is not value to weight ratio. This is just actual value of the items in the showcase. Andrew, actually, both weeks he added up. He had fewer wrong than Jess. So Andrew's going to get to listen to the first showcase and decide whether or not he will pass it or bid on it for himself. And so all you're going to do is I'm going to say these things and you're going to say how much they are worth. And I wrote a silly little thing on this because, why not, right? So
That's what we do.
today we've got a showcase that'll make your Geiger counter tick with excitement as we prepare you to hit the open road, because nothing says adventure like cruising through the irradiated wilderness on your very own custom-built motorcycle. That's right, we're giving you everything you need to enjoy the wasteland in style. First item on our list is our motorcycle gas tank. Picture it, you're riding across the desolate plains, wind in your hair, or what's left of it, and your trusty motorcycle gas tank is filled to the brim with precious Nuka-Cola Quantum, not included. It's the perfect blend of style and functionality, and since radiation often leads to dehydration, you can always just crack open that tank and take a refreshing swig.
Yum, yum.
Next, a motorcycle handbrake. When you're tearing through the wasteland at breakneck speeds, you'll need precision control. 3 wastelanders died scavenging this handbrake from the town of Minefield so that you can drift around those rad scorpions with finesse. Plus, it doubles as a bottle opener for those post-apocalyptic brews. And what's a motorcycle without power? This fission battery, scavenged from a downed vertibird, will keep your ride juiced up. It's like having your own little nuclear reactor strapped to your bike. Just be careful not to accidentally set off any miniature mushroom clouds. And forget traditional engines, we've got something better. A leaf blower. That's right. This modification is lightweight, fuel efficient, and emits a delightful whirring sound as you zoom through the wasteland. Plus, it doubles as a makeshift hairdryer for those moments when you find a working mirror. And who needs boring rubber handlebar grips when you can
This
have...
is a big showcase.
It is, I'm sorry. When you have actual Deathclaw hands.
Whew.
These bad boys are both menacing and ergonomic. The ridges provide an excellent grip, and the claws, well, they're perfect for intimidating raiders or opening stubborn cans of pork and beans. And lastly, you're going to want to capture those once-in-a-lifetime moments as you ride into the sunset or the radioactive haze with this camera. Features a built-in Geiger counter so you'll know exactly how much radiation you're soaking up while snapping pics of mutated flora and fauna. Say cheese. Note, Geiger counter functionality is a purchasable add-on and not actually included. And there you have it, Wasteland Warriors, the ultimate hitting the open road showcase. Will you bid on this collection of post-apocalyptic wonders, or will you pass it to the next survivor? Remember, in the Wasteland, survival is priceless, but this can all be yours if the caps are right.
The caps are wrong, bitch. I will say I will pass on this showcase and allow Jess to bid on this one.
Okay. So bidding on it, what do I got to do? Well,
you just, all those things that I add, I will say them again if you want. Did you write them down?
No, I wrote them all down. Yep.
You just, the total value of that is, like how many caps you would guess what that is. You want to try to come.
So I want to be as close as possible. Is there without going over, or is it okay if I go over?
That's the way Price is Right does it. So we will say that. Yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to bid lower than I think it is. We're going to go with 165.
Let me do a little quick tallying here. 2,500, 30.
Carry the 7. Go upstairs and to the left of that door.
What'd you just say? 165?
I did.
I'll say $1, Pat. Not Pat, Bob. Who hosted? Bob. $1, Bob.
Okay. Well, you have your own showcase to bid on.
Yeah, you got your own to hear about.
I thought we each. I forgot. I haven't seen the show. I haven't seen the show in like 25 years, man. All right, sorry. I was doing that stupid thing where you underbid someone like a jerk, and you're that jerk that no one likes. I was being that guy. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
That's on Price is Right.
So welcome, survivors.
Wait, are we
and
playing Price is Right? What are we playing? I don't even know.
The caps are right. Yeah, we're playing the caps are right. So today we've got a sizzling showcase that'll make your stomach dance with anticipation as we give you all you need to cook up some wasteland culinary delights, because nothing warms the heart and irradiates the soul like a home-cooked meal in the apocalypse. Item number 1, a hot plate. Picture it. You're huddled around your makeshift campfire, and your trusty hot plate is sizzling with mutton chops. It's portable, practical, and it's the only thing standing between you and raw mongrel dog meat. Plus, it doubles as a foot warmer on those chilly nights. Up next, a pilot light. When the world's gone to hell, you need a reliable flame. This pilot light, salvaged from a pre-war stove, will ignite your culinary dreams. Whether you're grilling rad roach or caramelizing sugar bombs, this little spark will keep your cooking fires burning. And next, a bone saw. What's cooking without a little butchery? Our bone saw, originally used for dismembering ghouls, now serves a tastier purpose. Perfect for breaking down mutant hound meat, carving radstag, or trimming ghoul toenails.
Well, no, about the radstag, not the toenails.
And a pressure cooker. Under pressure? Fear not. Our pressure cooker, scavenged from a vault kitchen, turns tough Brahmin meat into tender delicacies. This baby does it all. Just be careful when releasing that steam valve. It's hotter than a Deathclaw's temper. Forget fancy copper pots. Our metal cooking pan is battle tested and battle ready. It's perfect for frying a Deathclaw egg omelet or bashing raiders over the head when they're trying to steal your sweet roll. And of course, you'll need a lunchbox. Packed with nostalgia and mystery meat, our lunchbox is a relic from the past. It's like a culinary time capsule. Open it up and you might find a preserved Salisbury steak, Nuka-Cola, or a surprise visit from a rad roach. Our next item is a sensor module. Cooking is all about precision. Our sensor module, repurposed from a Protectron, ensures your iguana on a stick is cooked to perfection. It beeps when your ribeye reaches optimal temperature, tenderness, and hey, it doubles as a makeshift alarm clock. And a steam gauge assembly. Steam-powered cuisine? Why not? The steam gauge assembly, salvaged from an old locomotive, adds a touch of steampunk flair to your wasteland kitchen. It's perfect for brewing post-apocalyptic hub flower tea. All aboard the flavor train. And finally, a carton of cigarettes. After a hearty meal, what's better than a smoke? Lovingly hand-rolled by irradiated ghouls, these cigarettes provides that post-dinner satisfaction. It pairs well with a sunset view of the glowing sea. Just remember, smoking kills, but so does everything else out here. And there you have it, culinary connoisseurs, Wasteland Culinary Delight Showcase. What do you value this collection of post-apocalyptic kitchen essentials?
What was the first item again for Andrew? Was it the hot plate or was the one before that?
I think it was a hot plate.
Hot plate, pilot light, bone saw, pressure cooker, lunchbox, sensor module. I missed the next one, and it ends with carton of cigarettes. What was the
steam gauge
second
assembly?
one?
Yes.
Steam gauge. Okay. Golly.
I had to put more on this one because they were all lesser value.
Well, gosh, that's a big hint there. No. Yeah, I will say, let's go with 150. 150.
Okay, 150. All right. So, Andrew, you bid 150. Actual retail showcase price is 172 with a difference of 22 caps.
Wow.
Jess, for your open road
Not
showcase,
very close.
you bid 165, and
Which is 20
actual
below?
retail showcase price is 185, 20 below. You are the winner. Had you had come within 10 caps, you would have won both showcases. You did not, but congratulations.
I didn't remember that
genuinely-
rule. I actually guessed 185 on mine. I actually wrote down 185.
There
That's
was much
awesome.
rejoicing.
I thought Andrew's was like 200 though. I thought his was more expensive than mine.
I was going to guess 170 for each.
Of course,
You would have been only two. You would have won both for Andrews. Yeah.
Wow, Ray. Well.
Well, culinary
Good job.
delight next
Good-
time. I'll
good
enjoy
job,
my
Will.
open road showcase. That was brilliant.
Yeah,
Will,
really fun.
Those descriptions, that's super awesome.
Yeah, excellent work.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Let's take a look at the show notes. We have some iguana bits. Why don't we go ahead and roll into some
Jessica, to the office,
iguana
please.
bits.
Jessica, to the office. Your iguana bits are ready. Please come pick them up.
What do we got?
Well, these iguana bits are a little rare this week because we got a few, but I didn't really prep them as much as usual. So I just got a couple things I wanted to mention in the iguana bits. First of all, it's been 1 week till
How'd
the
you look at
Fallout
me?
show. We've got the Fallout TV show coming up less than a week because it's Thursday the 11th. So that's pretty much all I can think about. I have felt like for the last maybe 2 weeks, all I'm doing is like waiting. I'm like, why do I feel like I'm just waiting for something to happen? Oh yeah, because all I can think about is the show. Also, Alistair's a little bit worked up over there.
Is anybody doing anything special or fun or taking off work or blah, 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 blah? You know, like, is anyone having, like, oh, my friends and I are getting together to watch it? Like, anybody having a watch party or an online watch party? Or is anyone else doing that sort of thing? Or?
Well, there are a lot of things happening around it. So, I didn't take the day off. I definitely know some people did. And Twitch got rid of the watch party system. So there was a system in the past where you could do a watch party where anyone with Prime could hop together and they could watch it over Twitch and have a joint viewing session. They got rid of that. However, a couple of streamers are going to be having watch parties officially because they are letting a few streamers do it. And one of them is a friend of mine. So let me just let you know. So on April 11th,
nice, cool.
if you are a follower or fan of any of the following streamers, you can join a watch party. We've got Shroud, Only Ryan, Co-Carnage, I'm sure people know them, King Gothalion, That Bronze Girl, Dan's Gaming, Elspeth, Technique, Gassy Mexican, I know some of our friends follow him too, Tooniversal, my buddy Toon is often on during weekdays in 76 and other games, and Bloody Faster. So they're going to be having watch parties officially sponsored, and they probably, I don't know, I bet they're going to be doing some giveaways and stuff too because it's a sponsored watch party. So
I do believe also, obviously it's really fun to get involved with some Twitch streamers and do that. I think Amazon itself has like little options to watch with other friends, like as a little watch party if you have someone else that has Prime too.
they did for a long time, and I believe they just got rid of them on the 2nd, April 2nd.
This
Yes.
month? Okay, because
Yeah.
I had definitely seen that option fairly recently, but I was unaware. Okay.
A lot of people were planning on doing them too. And
Yeah,
they announced it was about 2 months ago. They announced they were getting rid of them. So the fact that they're doing this
Oh.
with people, it was a bit of a surprise. And yes, Lior in chat asked about Gassy Mexican. Yes, the ASA podcasting channel actually follows him. I think a few of our friends do. So anyway, there are going to be official watch parties. A bunch of people doing things I'm sure. With the Modus Files crew, for our patrons of the Modus Files, we're actually on Thursday night, probably around 8 p.m. in our Discord over there, going to do a watch with patrons, kind of watch and talk about the first episode. So that'll be fun. But it's not an open thing, and I don't know if I'm actually going to make it or not because of work. We'll see. But yeah, super exciting. All 8 episodes dropping at once on the 11th, and I cannot wait to watch.
Yeah. So what are those streamers going to like stream all 8 episodes or like do all 8 episodes? Watch all 8?
I think they're just doing the first episode. I think that's what's happening. Yeah. Watch the first episode of Fallout live on their Twitch channel. So it will just be the first episode. And as far as what time of day they're doing it, I think they are doing it on their own schedule. So I imagine Tune's probably going to live at his usual time around 9 a.m. or so, 8 or 9 a.m.
So you hit a couple.
Exactly. Yeah. More information on that as we get it, but it won't be in the Iguana Bits because it'll be too late. But
did you say Amazon post stuff at 8 or 9 a.m.? Is that what you were saying there, or no?
I'm just guessing when they're going to do the watch parties will be at their regular time. I don't know yet.
Okay. When does Amazon post? Do they post stuff at midnight the night before, or like at noon, or when do they post their shows?
Usually it's at night, but that's on their regular schedule of doing one a week like they do for most of their shows. With this all at once on the drop, I don't actually know the time of day it's releasing. If anybody does, please let us know. And when I do know, of course, I'll be posting it everywhere. But yeah, I imagine it's just going to be like midnight or earlier.
Well, I mean, sure, it had to be before midnight on really. But
no, when I say midnight, I mean like first thing in the morning. Like a couple times when they say they're releasing on like a certain day, it's actually a couple hours before. So like say they're saying they're releasing on April 11th at midnight. But it might actually be available at like 10 p.m. on April 10th, depending on your time zone. Yeah, because if they're doing like Amazon is in the Western Hemisphere, like in the Pacific time zone. So their, midnight would actually be 3 a.m. on the East Coast. Anyway, I don't know. We don't know yet.
And then you can be like Jerry and tell your Xbox that we're in like New Zealand or something. And
exactly.
You get a couple hours early.
The thing is, I think it's going to be simultaneous release this time. They haven't said it's not. So who knows? But the other thing to watch out for, or just be aware of, this week, they are on a major blitz. There is finally advertising in the wild. In your subway tunnels, on your billboards, on buses, and on their Twitter and on Facebook and everywhere. They are posting lots more behind the scenes clips. We just got behind the scenes kind of console to camera. It was a YouTube video, essentially like how they are adapting things from the game, talking specifically about how game accurate things are, just to be like, yeah, we respect the lore, we respect the fans, we're doing, focusing on this. And for those who don't know, there was just a big event in the UK, and we learned there was actually one in LA that we hadn't known about before last month, where people have actually seen the first 2 episodes. So not just the 1 episode, but the first 2 episodes last night in the UK. And people in LA saw, I believe, the first 2 episodes sometime last month, a couple weeks ago. So that is awesome. And while they cannot officially say, everyone who has seen it has been saying things like, it was great. I loved it. Okay. People are going to be excited. Won't be let down. If you've seen pictures from the UK event was neat because it was just, you were able to buy tickets there. So a lot of local Fallout fans actually bought tickets, where in the US one, you couldn't. It's a little bit more of an exclusive event. But I had a couple friends who went to the UK one, and they're very, very excited. So looking good. Besides that, speaking of things on TV, speaking of shows, Fallout Deadweight released last week. Now, this was a surprise. We had not heard any publicity about this ahead of time. I usually try to keep track of those fan projects. Hadn't heard anywhere, but it was posted up on Twitter, released on YouTube, a bunch of places, kind of a small like word of mouth media blitz, but it was everywhere. A couple people posted in our Discord as well. And Fallout Deadweight is a 12-minute Fallout short fan film that just came out. Did any of you guys watch it?
Yeah, I did.
I saw the first few minutes, and I was like, oh, I need to finish this, but I didn't have time just then.
Yeah, it's only like 12 minutes. I won't spoil it. Worth watching. But did you enjoy it, Ray?
Yeah, it was really well done.
Yep.
Really well done.
It was a little shorter than I expected as far as like the actual content. So, don't expect like a sweeping epic TV show, but it was a really cool little story and really well done. And if you first tune in and you're like, oh, that mole rat's a little cheesy, don't worry. Not all the effects are like that. And the mole rat actually does look pretty darn cool, to be honest, but you can tell it's rough.
Yeah, I was just about to say, who would say that? If sure, if you are, a big Hollywood studio, that might be a little iffy, but like someone who's making that as a fan, that is fucking outstanding work.
It is outstanding. No, I agree. I mean, our fans, of course, understand things can be imperfections at time, but I saw complaints about the mole rat, so that's why I mentioned it. But people
really?
complain about anything.
Come on,
yeah.
folks.
Yeah, it's better than your mole rat.
Exactly. So Fallout Deadweight, just look it up, Fallout Deadweight. On the same thing, Nuka Breaking, the new one by Zach of Nuka Break fame, his new show Nuka Breaking is still going to be out first half of April, he says, maybe even before the Fallout TV show. He doesn't have an exact date, but he's heavily into the editing phase and saying, it's still going to be out early April. So watch out for Nuka Breaking too. We got 2 cool Fallout fan projects.
Awesome.
On top of the show. Yeah. Speaking of show hype and stuff happening there, all the merch, all of it. I don't know if you've noticed, but everybody's releasing Fallout related stuff the last couple weeks. I was joking about how it's good that there were 5 Fridays.
What have you seen?
Well, okay, so you guys already know about the Fallout TV show tie-in stuff, and the whole Amazon even has a Fallout store now. You can actually go to the Fallout store on Amazon to find a bunch of their stuff. Yep, and some associated items. But on top of that and the magic cards, they've got the Bones Coffee Company Fallout branded coffee. They had one flavor, now they got a couple. They also have some cool like ceramic mug, stein kind of things you can get with your coffee. El Gato, makers of fine streaming stuff, video webcams, decks and all that, stream decks, microphones. They just released a Pip-Boy of Robco kind of branded gear line today that's going to be limited edition. So you guys know that I have my limited edition stream deck. It's essentially going to be like that. It doesn't have the 25th anniversary branding, but otherwise essentially the same as what I have. And then they're doing a bunch of accessories to go with it. So all kinds of stuff there. Obviously, we've got the Arizona tea. Some of you already know about, but this week it just seems like there's more and more and more stuff. So Fallout fans, we're eating good. Well, no. We're eating ramen. Fallout fans, we're eating ramen, but we're getting all the best stuff.
Ramen's good.
I do love ramen. Oh my goodness, budgets. And then I also wanted to give just a shout out, Iguana Bit update on Fallout London. Everything is still on track there too. The release date, don't forget, is April 23rd. They are still on track to hit it as far as they know. Everyone's working hard. My friend Charo did a little tweet the other day just talking about how much she, respects the devs. And I mean, she's a part of the dev team for the art, but they're in the phase right now, the final polishing and just getting stuff done and ready to go phase, where a lot of the team has to kind of step back and let the people who this is what they're doing do it. And they are just working day in, day out, so dedicated. I'm in their dev Discord, and I was telling someone that I can see the difference too. Like they've always, joked around and stuff like that, a little lighthearted, blah, 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 occasionally, showing what they're working on and updates. The last month and a half, 2 months, it's just been serious business, getting stuff done, posting pictures and updates and checklists. And man, I can't say any specifics, of course, out of the dev section. They haven't shared themselves in update videos. But things look good. I'm excited. So if you have a PC and you can play it, get that separate install ready. Either set it up on a partition totally separate or have a completely clean install. Obviously, you PC people know better than I do, but talking to the team, there's a good chance that a lot of mods will not play nice with it. Being a full overhaul, that one weapon mod you have, that one fast travel, or, oh, I've got more build items in my menu mod you have, don't take a chance. Start clean. You can afterward maybe see if you can add a few mods to it, but you don't want to have it in there when you're starting it up and installing. I mean, I don't know if you have any insight on that, Ray, but they're saying that they just cannot guarantee things will work.
Yeah. With Vortex, you should be able to set up a profile, and then load that mod only into that profile. You can purge all the mods. There's a purge button in Vortex that cleans everything up, and then load the Fallout London.
See, that's excellent. And I will, before it comes out, I will ask a member of the mod team specifically if they have any issues with that or if they have tested that sort of install. Because it should be fine, like you say, obviously, based on what you have. But I will just ask to be sure, because being a complete overhaul, it just makes me wonder if it's going to be different or not. But that's awesome. Yeah, I am so excited about Fallout London. So we're eating great this month. And those are all my delicious iguana bits I got. Iguana bits and ramen.
Well, yum, yum. Them some tasty bits.
I mean, I should say Mothman Equinox. Have you done any Mothman Equinox, Andrew?
Couple, but no, I haven't opened up any of the... I killed a few of the cultist guys running around in the wild.
Yeah.
I haven't opened up any of their packages yet or anything, though.
Got a bunch of spooky priest packages myself.
Cool.
Haven't opened them either. There's a lot of new gear. I mean, there's new outfits and stuff.
My last closing thought here on the show is I was just going to ask if anybody is in the direct path of our eclipse that is happening on Monday.
Yeah, definitely. We're in the totality here. Buffalo is expecting there to be a lot of people visiting for the totality.
They are acting like a blizzard is coming to Indiana. They're like, gas up your car, take your gas cans, fill them up, make sure you have 3 to 5 days worth of food and fresh
they told us to get groceries ahead too. Yeah,
and I'm just like, what the fuck is going? They're like, we're expecting 2 to 4 million plus extra people coming to Indianapolis area, and I'm like, whoa, Indianapolis can't handle that. Like, it's crazy.
You're in the path of totality also, Andrew?
Yeah, we are. We're in totality. How's Nolans?
We're just partial.
Just partial?
Yeah.
And you'd be not even close, right, Ray?
I have no idea.
If it's not a big fucking deal on your local news, then you're cool.
I will say, have either of y'all seen one, like a total one in totality?
I don't know that I have. If I have, it's when I was a kid, I think. There was a partial one about it. There was a partial one about a decade ago that I remember.
Yeah, the totality ones, they're awesome. I had only, I'd seen some partial ones, and it's neat. You look at it and it's neat. I happened to be in Nashville for the last one. That was like 7 years ago, and they were in the path of totality, and so I got to see that there, and that moment when it happens, like that was like special. Like it was, I wasn't expecting it to really be like that. Like, cause all the leading up to it as it's slowly happening. It's it's kind of cool and everything looks different. And it was fun, but wow, just like when it happened, I felt like it was, I could almost hear it even. I know that doesn't make sense, but I felt like there was like a little sizzling or something. And it was just, and all of a sudden it like clicked. I was like, this is why there are people that like follow these around the world and stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
No,
Clint says he saw totality in 2012. He and Charlie, and they are awesome. I feel like I did when I was younger. But I mean, as a kid, you're easily impressed. So maybe it was just like, mostly.
Right.
The favorite way I've looked at, they all have glasses now and everything, but back in the day when none of us had welding mask like grade glass to look through and glasses, we would cut pinhole cameras and cardboard and stuff, and you'd shine it down onto the sidewalk and see it and stuff like that. Or my favorite one was if you took a colander and did it, you would see 64 little eclipses all over the ground. It would project a bunch of little eclipses all over the ground. It was really cool. So there's neat ways if you don't have those, and make sure if you have glasses that they are actually real, because I've heard there's a bunch of fake ones going around, and I would hate for someone to go blind because you got fucking stupid fake glasses.
Hey, Scientist Andrew.
Yeah, what?
Scientist Andrew, I just ordered some new blue blocker glasses that I should get
I love blue blockers.
by Monday. Can I wear my blue blocker glasses and look directly at the sun?
Absolutely not. don't no. Welder's mask, maybe. That would be the only way I would stare at the sun.
I didn't figure, but I just wanted to ask.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I remember last time I had to. They were the glasses and stuff were, I guess, hard enough to come by, but I was trying to, get pictures of it, and I was trying to get the special lenses for your camera, because you got to make sure same thing. You can just burn up the lens inside your camera. So I got some pretty fun pictures of it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, I'm working that day, but we're gonna step outside and have a little break, and I'm just hoping it doesn't take me 3 hours to get to work, just because everyone's flocking to Indianapolis for the.
Oh gosh, yeah. I posted a quick little picture of where it's going across the U.S. Looks like it'll be right by you.
Yep, it's going right over us for, I don't know, it's I forget. I was looking at the chart the other day, but yeah, we're right in the path there. So
I'm such a bucket muncher.
Our in-laws are coming down for the event and staying.
On the calendar, I gotta mention we're getting double XP for the Fallout show premiere too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, all weekend. So, when everybody will be watching TV instead of playing the game, you get double XP if you play the game.
Double XP.
We'll make it 3 XP. Come on, guys, come play. All right, does anybody have anything else they would like to bring up this evening?
All set.
All right. In that case, Will, tell us where we can find you, sir.
Will Wonka, I guess.
At Will Wonka and all the
I haven't
places.
really I haven't been on Twitter or anything in
Me neither.
or however long, but I didn't delete my account. Who knows? I may just wildly one day just start posting again, but
exactly.
I don't know.
Some of us are still there.
He's in our Facebook group too, folks, if you'd like to interact with Will. Will, thanks so much for hopping on.
Oh, it's always fun. Thank you.
You can find him at Ray LB, also at BBCISSS for all your No Man's Sky needs. Ray, thanks so much.
Good times.
You can find her at Sleep is 4T, also at Dames Who Game, and at You Wastelanders. Jess, it's been a pleasure.
Can't wait to see y'all in the Wasteland this weekend.
Oh, it's going to be so fun. Alrighty. You can find me in our Facebook group over there. The show can be found at the Fallout Feed. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout Feed. We will see you in the Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.
Showcase Showdown.
Manhole.
I let myself get cornered.
You finish in the hole.